Hey, this is we're live. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. I'm Bob.
I'm Tam.
There you go. And we came on a few seconds early because we want to get the cam going on outside because it's getting dark already. So let me switch the other camera over. Oops, not that one. How about that one? That looks better. You get to talk because there's no sound. I suppose Sturgis, right? Yeah. There's no sound on my camera.
Alrighty. So he's gonna go out and walk up and down Main Street because it's too darn cold.
You can kind of say what we're going to talk about. Don't say what we're talking about.
So I can say what we're gonna talk about, but don't talk about anything we're gonna talk about, he said. So we're up here in Sturgis. We got in last Saturday and we've talked to a lot of people. We've seen a lot of people, been to a lot of places and a lot of stuff going on. A lot of different changes, things going crazy. We've talked to the city. Hey, Slim Jim. And there's Ralph. Now, see, we're in Sturgis and you're not. Where you at, Ralph? He's probably back in California already. So there's Daniel. He was on early, bright and early, and Mike's on too. So he says he's waiting patiently. So Bob's going down. This is where we're at the Hotel Sturgis. We're inside. That's where I'm inside. He's outside walking up and down. It just started drizzling right before we came in. There's the Oasis Bar. That's where the same people that own the Oasis Bar owns the Hotel Sturgis. So there's Slim Jim, Guns and Rides. He says he wants to know if Scott's watching. Who's Scott? There's Neil. He made it. He says in the Bating Nation. There's Sean and Rick, how are you guys doing? Yes, we're at the Hotel Sturgis. It's pretty cool in here. Everybody's really nice. There's Clint and Ralph's on. He's freezing cold in Salt Lake City. We just talked to Anessa from One Sexy Biker Chick, and she's actually in Denver, which is where we're going to fly out of when we leave here next Monday. And she said it was 57 down there. It was 58 here today. It wasn't bad today. The sun came out. And the temperature was actually pretty nice. There's the car we're driving. And so he's down on Main Street. Hopefully he didn't set off the alarm. I hear an alarm going off. Daniel said he was waiting patiently for guys for us to start. Sorry. I breathed in the wrong way. David's on. Hey there, Dave. How you? Larry Blevins, there he is. He'll be at the Chip next year. Pretty cool. Yeah, we've did a video on the area that we're going to stay in. I don't know if you put that up yet or not, but you'll get to see the area that we're going to camp in, all of us together. Or if you're just at the Chip, or if you're just in Sturgis, you can come out and see us. But we did a video for that. Buffalo Chip only gave us till the 31st of October, so we only have a few days left. If you want to book, to guarantee you'll be in our spot, you can try. Later on to see if they have anything open. They've got the little stage area all decked out. I think it's really cute over there. Bob's showing you that on the other one. There's Joe. Hey, Ryder X, how you doing? We had winter find us last night. We had about 2 inches. Yeah, we got flurries on Monday. It was kind of chilly. See, look at all their fall decorations. It's pretty cool. Hotel Sturgis is ritzy. Yes, it is. It's very nice. I got a hot chocolate pumpkin because I don't do coffee, and I wanted something pumpkin. I said, can you put something besides coffee in it? Oh, they still got a tribute to the veterans there over there in the square. Pating from Florida, that must be Dakota Dave there, I think. There's Facebook. I got Facebook up and going, but I've got to wait till we come on before it shows me. I guess I still have to get out and get back in. Yep, there it is. All right, so let me see who said hi, Tim. Tina Irwin. Hey there, Tina. Mike says, Patsy already putting together a wish list for One Sexy Biker Chick. I know, they got some good stuff. She'll have to save her pennies, but they've got some good stuff in there. Cute stuff. Everyday Getaway. They're down in Castroville, Texas, and the weather's fantastic. I said, yeah, I think I saw you down there. You were sitting by a pool or the beach or something there. Looks nice. There's Paul, he says. Good evening. Bob's out walking around. He's probably coming back in now. Just wanted to show you what downtown Sturgis looks like right now. There's Rat's Moto Life. How you doing? Ray's Moto Life. Sorry, Ray. Got to put my glasses on. I do have them here. I probably should put them on so I can see what I'm looking at. Sun's shining now, and it's up to 31, almost perfect. When it gets below, I bet it's like I said. If today was a really good day, it's supposed to get a little warmer every day. He's coming up the steps now. You'll probably see me in just a second. He's turning around the corner. There I am. I'm on there 2 times. Neil already had snow for the season. Yes, I think Neil did, and we did here too. So that's what Ryder X says. Hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up
This
button.
one here and just put our screen on.
That one?
Yep. There you go.
All right. So
Hello, everybody.
Danny's on.
So we've got a lot of great news we're
There's
going to tell you
6.
tonight.
How you doing, 6?
And so hopefully we also got the new channel going on, the big one, the Facebook group. Let me go check that real quick and see if they're on.
Da-da-da. When it gets to 0 or below, I go. I remember up when we used to live in Chicago, it would get cold. Max below is on. How about that? X, so you booked for Sturgis. I don't know. Did you book yet, Ryder X? Ralph says talk about the corporation bites of Harley Davidson dealerships. It's getting kind of scary. There's not very many mom and pop shops around anymore. Live from North Carolina. How you doing, Jimmy? Ryder X says 57 people are watching, only 25 likes. So if you're on, now it says 70 people's on. So give us a thumbs up. I'm a little behind.
So we've got a lot of things to talk about. Let me pull up my phone here because I took some
His
pictures.
birthday boy on. There he is. He was out showing you the main street of Sturgis.
It's too dark.
Yeah.
It's dark here now, earlier.
Just like, a thumbs up. There you go.
Gallery. Camera.
He was the one that was walking around.
Yep.
Where y'all at tonight? We are downtown Sturgis on Main Street in the Hotel Sturgis, up in their little coffee shop. They have like a little mezzanine level, they call it, or a little balcony, whatever. But it's pretty nice in here. And the people here that own it are great.
They also own the Oasis Bar next door.
Yep.
They got food stuff. We might go there and eat something. We'll go
Oh,
home.
there we go.
Yeah.
Everybody get all loose as a goose on his birthday. No, we didn't really do a whole lot. What did we do? Not much. It was cold. It was cold that day.
Monday or Sunday?
Monday, and that's
So
when
Monday
it
we went
snowed.
to go to Buffalo Chip. Oh, we had breakfast with Rod.
Yeah.
We did that in the morning. And what did we do in the afternoon? I don't know what the heck we did in the afternoon.
We did a lot. We've been running all over the place. So
Well, a lot of meetings are having to be multi-meetings. So it's kind of like we started out, we've got a video coming up that we're going to be showing you all the hotels in Sturgis. If all goes well, maybe Friday that'll be up. I don't know. There's a lot of editing to do on that, so I'm not sure how quick I can get that up. We went around all the hotels and we got to see the rooms and stuff, and we got a lot of important messages to tell you. We'll talk a little bit about that hotels that we need to tell you. I'll tell you that now.
yeah, might as well.
So if you're booking, and you probably should do this with any rally you go to,
Probably.
you don't go on the web and book stuff through the website or through any third parties. No Priceline, no hotels.com, no Hotwire, no Orbitz, nothing. Because a lot of those, we're finding out here in Sturgis, a lot of those get lost. Sometimes they quote you the wrong price. Sometimes the rooms are sold out because they've had so many phone calls that it's sold out, that you book it and then you get here and they're like, no, you don't have a reservation. Well, then now you call Hotwire or whoever, and they're like, too bad, not our problem. We'll give you a refund, but you're not going to get anything else. So,
well, and they say a lot of times when you book with a third party too, there's not a whole lot they can do. They can't do anything with your reservation. So if you want to come in a day early, you want to stay a day late, or you need to leave a day early, there's nothing the hotels
so they have to actually write a whole new arrangement for you. You have to fill all the paperwork out again, your information, your credit card, and all that.
We'll try to find that out, Clint. He said it'd be nice if there's a list of all the independent Harley dealerships.
I don't know if we can get that or not. That would be tough to get. What we're trying to do is put a list together, and we're going to spend some time doing this because we have to go back through comments from video from last year and this year now. Because if you actually start watching through these videos, especially just the one we just put up about corporate versus
58 today.
hometown dealers, that video has a lot of people telling you some good dealers and they're telling you some bad dealers to stay away from. So we don't really want to give you a list of bad dealers. We're going to give you a list of good dealers. And we haven't been to all of them. Some of them we rely on you guys to tell us which ones are great and which ones are not. We also have to divide this up because sometimes you might have a dealership that's great at selling you a bike, give you a great deal, but their service department sucks. So it's kind of like the Harley Davidson dealer here. They're not going to be the lowest price Harley. Okay, they charge a little bit more than some of the other ones do. We do have some dealers that do sell for manufacturer retail price, and then there's a lot of them out here that charge a lot more. So, but what Black Hills Harley Davidson does, they have a very, very good service department, and that's what's really important. If you're, especially if you buy a new bike, you want somebody that's going to take care of it and take care of your service. Now, it's bad if you're traveling here and you bought the bike from them and you're back to your dealer and they suck, but then there's not a lot they can do for you. But
well, we were talking to the service department today at Black Hills, and that's what they said. A lot of people only come out here and bring their bikes out here to get service because their hometown dealers doesn't have a very good service department. So
it depends on how much you ride. You know,
Yeah.
some people can get away with that and do maybe 10,000 miles. You put some like Amazon oil in it, you could run 10,000 miles on it. You could get back out here. But I don't know if Harley's going to put their synthetic oil is not 100% synthetic. It's a mixture of oil, but that's not what we're talking about.
So it's 10 after 6. We're in downtown Sturgis on Main Street at the Hotel Sturgis.
That's right. We've been here all week. We got here on Saturday, and mainly you might say, "What the heck are you people doing there?" Well,
You're supposed to read that one.
You guys do a great job, and your wife is awful cute too, Bob. Number one wife or number two wife?
I didn't know that was a number 2.
I thought she lived in Florida.
Oh.
That was number two wife.
It was just an old girlfriend.
We stay at her house all the time.
We do.
Share rooms.
That was a very confusing comment. We just found your mom's better. Wasn't sure what that meant either, but I was just.
So what are we doing here? That's the question that we want to answer to everybody that's on, and hopefully you'll hang around a little bit to find out. First of all, the city had a post meeting of Sturgis Bike Week. That was Tuesday. So they invited us out to that to hear that. Also, they made some announcements for the 83rd, which we're going to talk about tonight. So that's the first thing that we came out for. We've been working with, some of you will know, and we're going to talk about that tonight again. We have a section in the Buffalo Chip that is reserved for us and any of our friends, YouTube subscribers, and friends alone too, and you guys friends, can stay where we're staying at the Buffalo Chip. They said they're actually looking pretty good, so we haven't actually got a number yet. We forgot to ask yesterday.
For what?
Over there for the Buffalo Chip, how many we have already in our little
Oh,
section.
yeah. They said there was quite a few calls.
So that's going to be good till October 31st. And what that is we're in, what section are we in?
Deep Lake.
Deep Lake. If you want, I don't know, did we put something up last time?
I don't think
Look
so.
in the banners and see if I put anything up about the Buffalo Chip. No, I don't see nothing. Okay.
I can type something.
So,
Can we type in their phone number?
yeah, you can get the phone number and then Carol and then what it's called, Blue Sky. Whatever. Deep Lakes. Blue Sky was there before. So what we want to do is, if you're interested in coming to Sturgis and hanging out with us and being with us, we're going to stay during the rally. We're going to be on the Buffalo Chips property pretty much full time. Most of our rides we're going to do before the rally starts. So if you want to come out ahead of time, let us know. And we'll be able to you can go some rides with us and stuff. Now, we are going to be doing the Rusty Wallace ride. We're also going to be doing the Legends ride. So those two rides we are signed up for because of the Buffalo Chip. So if you want to ride during the rally, that's your two options. What else is going on is, so you guys can check that out, but you have to call in and talk to Carol. She's going to put Carol's name up and the phone number. Do not book online. So our section is like $750 or $795 for the full rally if you want to put your trailer there. It's electric and water. It's 50 amp. So if you got a 30 amp, I didn't pull the box up to see. I imagine there's a 30 amp plug too, but it says 50 amp. I don't know. But there's water there. We have there's some which if you wait till tomorrow, I actually have a video showing that location where it's at. And we kind of walk through there. We show you the oceanfront property that you could have while you're there. We show you the great exit that we're going to have getting out of the back of the park, where the bathrooms are at, and all that great stuff. So if you're interested.
It's only 605, not 6055. It must have hit it twice. Can I edit it?
Probably.
Edit.
It says edit.
There we go.
So that's the first thing that we want to talk about. If you're wanting to stay where we are at the Buffalo Chip, right now the prices are at the lowest prices you're going to get. The wristbands are $295 plus some taxes. So if you're interested in doing that, or if you want to know more information, you can contact them. Or you can email us at contact us at bobandtams.com, and we can give you some more information. A lot of you want to stay there. A lot of want to have fun. You get all the concerts. We're going to talk a little bit about the Buffalo Chip because we did meet with the Buffalo Chip already. Actually, twice already. It's going to be a third time tomorrow. Should be everything be signed and dotted and everything. I think tomorrow we're going to sign everything up. and figure out exactly what we're going to do. But it looks like we're going to do our lives from there, and we're going to be putting a video out every evening showing you what all the events are that for the next day. For those of you, because there's a lot of stuff at the Buffalo Chip you can do for free. And let's say you're somebody that can't afford to spend $295 for a band and you're staying someplace else. Well, you can go in there and buy 1 or 2 days. You know, the Friday would be a pretty good day. I think it's only $60. And after that, it jumps to 65. But if you buy them now, it's going to be a lot better, because if they get a big band, let's say Kid Rock or Aerosmith or whoever it might be, Ted Nugent, or I don't know, and none of these names have come across the board, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you know, those tickets, like Kid Rock that night was 2 years ago, was $120 at the gate. So if you're paying 65, you're saving some money. Plus, you're there all day long.
Yeah.
So we've already talked to them. They're interested in our big beer keg party we're going to have. But they want, Chris said, maybe you guys should just have it at your campground and bring Woody down and everybody kind of hang around and have a good time. So that may be, we don't know yet. We're all that final stuff's going to be edited till the very beginning.
So what is that? What is that date, Mike? Bullhead, it says Bullhead, April 23rd to the 29th.
That's probably the Bullhead Rally.
No, it's in May. Remember, he switched it to May, and which I don't think is a good time, but
so we also met with the business agent today again at the city. We met with him privately and discussed some issues with him. We also went over to the dealership. We're going to talk a little bit about the dealership and the buyout and a little bit about that company. Found out a little bit more. So we've got quite a few things we're going to talk about here on the agenda tonight. So you guys want to kind of hang out a little bit with us, and we'll go through all this, because this is all about Sturgis. This is a Sturgis live, and where else could you get? But that's what we came out here for, is because what we're looking to do starting real soon, which I don't know when this is officially going to start, but we want to do 1 video a week on Sturgis. So we're going to give you the updates of what's going on at the Buffalo Chip, what's going on at the city, what's going on at Black Hills Harley. We also talked to the Indian dealer. She's all on board, but they don't do nothing with Indian until the first of the year, because a lot of their stuff is done through corporate, and corporate does not make any decisions till after January 1st, probably budgets and stuff.
Right.
So once that kicks in, then she's going to be able to come. She's going to come on our channel. So we're going to have a lot of these people from the city. We actually meet with the city again tomorrow. We meet with Tammy.
Talk to the chief. Hello. She turned on the big lights over there.
That's all right. I don't care. And so it's, I forgot where it's at. So
we're going to, so Lauren might come on.
Yeah.
And
so we have a whole lot of people. So Indian, we even talked to the chief today. He said, no, I might come on. And so that's kind of neat to get the chief on, and you guys can, that way you can ask him questions and stuff. And I really like the chief here. I like the chief down in Norman Beach too. It's not, where's he going?
He says, as something came up, I got to go. So he just said hi.
What's wrong with you?
He might be back. I don't know. You never know what happened.
He's got to go to the bathroom.
Hey, there's R2799.
So we got a lot of neat stuff to talk about, and we're going to have some more stuff.
We're talking about you today.
And talk about. And we got another video that's going to come up one day this week. That might be a Friday video. It's going to be showing you all the shade that is actually at the Buffalo Chip. Couple of things that's one of the reasons I want to do so much with the Buffalo Chip, is because there's so many people that just make up stuff about the Buffalo Chip that's not true. Like they told us when we first went there, people crap in the shower and all this stuff because the bathrooms are all backed up and all this stuff. We can't. We've camped. She's camped since she was 16 years old, 17, when she went with my parents the very first time. I've been camping since about 1964, when I was about 4 years old. So I've dealt with state parks and stuff like that. These bathrooms are not bad. There's a whole lot. Go over to Cackleberry and let's see me over there in Daytona and tell me how that one works for you. You know, there's none of them like that bad. But I mean, there's a lot of other campgrounds that are a whole lot worse. There's a few campgrounds that are a little better. But once again, you are in a campground. You're not at the Ritz-Carlton, or you're not over here at the Hilton, or you're not wherever you might be staying. So you're not at home. So you're in and we had no trouble. The bathrooms were clean. We had no trouble with, we get in there.
It says Camp 5, just bring your own shovel and bury it.
There you go. And you ain't got to worry about it. Just don't go in the same spot twice. You don't want to be digging it up. And so it is what you expect. But it's like I tell some people, if you want to rent a trailer like we have, you can have them pump it out, and you can use the bathroom in the trailer. You can take your shower in the trailer. We're supposed to, hopefully tomorrow, we're going to be over at Jack's camps, and we're going to film a couple of the inside of the trailers to give you guys even if you're not going to be in our group, let you know what the trailers look like
If you want
inside.
to go somewhere else and camp,
Yeah.
get one of Jack's trailers.
Yeah.
You'll
So-
get an idea of what they have.
Yep. So, and we've got
Not gonna do 'em
cabins.
all.
We have cabins not too far from us. Mike's going to stay in a cabin. They decided they didn't want to stay in a trailer. I like the trailer just for the fact that you've got a stove, you've got a refrigerator, you've got heat, you've got air
Got your own
conditioning.
bed.
Yeah,
There's
you
Randall.
got, yeah, you're in the same place all the time. You're not on an air mattress, or you don't have to bring anything with you, linens and stuff like that. Because in the trailers, there's a linen package that it even comes with a coffee maker and all kinds of junk you can get with it. And
Paper
I
plates.
think it was
and
on like $150 is what George
paper
said.
towels. Yeah.
Because he already got his all set up. And so some of you have rented trailers. So when you look at the price, we thought you had to pay the $795 and then $2,400 for the trailer and then the wristbands. Well, part of the rental of the lot is in the price of the trailer.
Yeah. So you
Normally-
don't have to pay the lot payment and the rent the trailer.
Normally, they don't put rental trailers in where we're at. They go up to the back 40, which is the hill.
No.
We're on level land. You're going to see that in the video tomorrow. It's really a great location. Actually, one of the people that have been working at the chip for close to 30 years told us this is where, if they were going to stay overnight, this is the camp spots they would take. And after we, especially today, went back there and we filmed it. Actually, it was yesterday.
We didn't get a
filmed
name
it
yet.
A name for what?
George wanted to know if we were meeting with Carrie V at Jack's. The Buffalo Chip is going to give us a contact person to go talk to Jack's.
Yeah.
So we don't know the name
Could be
yet.
the owner. It could be, I don't know who.
He said Carrie V.
Yeah, could be. But when we said something to Rod said, I'll get your name. You guys get right in there.
$150 a day? I don't know. Who
For what?
said that? To rent a trailer?
No, it's more than that.
Well, Randall, he said he would like to stay with us, but he can't book until later on, until it gets closer. He's talking about retiring, so.
So what you got to look at is prices are going to go up. Typically, the campground prices do not go up. It's the wristbands that are going to go up. So right now, when we asked him, because I was thinking maybe since he told us December 31st or October 31st that you guys had to book by, that it would be November 1st, he'd drop the prices up. Right now, he said no. So we'll find out tomorrow kind of when they're going to do it. So let's talk a little bit about the Buffalo Chip. What the heck is going on out there? Okay, so we sat down with him, and the first thing out of my mouth was, you definitely got all the concerts figured out, right? And he said, yes, but no. And I'm like, what do you mean yes and no? Well, I've talked to all of them, but I have no contracts. He says, I've sent all of, we're not going to make any announcements. They're not going to tell us anybody. He gave us some hints, but I'm not going to say anything because I
don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing
And
written,
yeah.
dotted line hasn't
And,
been signed.
so we're going to talk to him tomorrow, and we already talked to him. A lot of you have asked for, actually on our big page, Facebook page, a lot of people have asked for Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll?
Yeah.
Is that what it was, Jelly
Mhm.
Roll? No. That dude wants like $500,000 to come out. Not really that much. But he wants more than anybody else.
Yes.
He will not play outside either. So they tried to get him last year. So when we said, hey, we got a bunch of people on our pages been asking for him, he texted us right back and said, I've tried. It's probably not going to happen. So he's off the books. So there's a lot of other, so there's other bands. And if you guys check, I did put it on our Facebook, and it's also on their page too, that they gave you a list of bands. What do you think of these 25 bands? Well, one of them's got Willie Nelson. I'm like, dude, we seen Willie Nelson like 15 years ago, and he was like two breaths away from being dead. And it was Willie Nelson and Family. He came out and sang the first song, and we never seen him again.
He sang one song.
Even who was the prize guest singer that came up?
The
and
bus driver. They even had the bus driver come out and sing a song. They had all, because the concert was Willie Nelson and Family. So Willie came out and sang the first song. He might have sang On the Road Again at the very end. But then all through the middle was his kids, his grandkids, cousins, nieces,
who the hell
nephews.
cares?
And they said, oh, and we got a really special guest tonight, our bus driver. We just figured out he
could sing.
And he sang, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's
So when I said something, they said, no, we're never going to put him on. I don't know why they put him in the list.
So Marcus was on too.
And so like we said, Alice Cooper would be really great. We told him a way, if you really want to get Alice Cooper to come to the concert, he's a big golfer.
Yeah.
And he loves to do golf charity. I said, so we're going to, we already told one of the staff it. And they said they had a golf benefit here at one of the other rallies. I said, maybe that's
a couple
something,
years ago.
maybe we could get that set up.
He's a
and
lip
you could
syncer.
get, who, Alice Cooper?
I don't know. This was a while
Alice Cooper
ago, so it's probably
Yeah.
maybe Willie Nelson.
Yeah. And so we might be able to get, I think Alice Cooper, that was her first concert she ever went to, was Alice Cooper when
Yep.
we were like 16, 17 years old. That's a whole other story too. And so I would like to see him again.
Sammy Hagar.
And,
That was on the list too.
Yep, Sammy Hagar was on there. There was a lot of really.
Bob Seger. We've got a thing
Yeah.
that we're going to do with
Yes.
Bob Seger.
So what we're going to do is we have gotten Bob Seger's home address. So what we're going to do is on all of our social pages, we are going to post his home address, and we're going to write up what we want you to say. And basically, we want them all to say the same thing because we don't want to make a big lengthy thing because he's not going to read them anyway. Probably somebody else could open them all up. But what we want him to say is, we want you to come to the Buffalo Chip. Here's the phone number. Call and ask for Rod. Because if we could do this, this is Rod's ultimate thing, was to have Bob Seger. And we've seen Bob Seger once.
Yeah.
And it was a great concert. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I'd love to have him this time because we'll be right up front. And it would be really good. And
Mitch said if Jelly Roll won't play outside, he's probably lip syncing too.
could be. Well, see, when everybody kept asking for Jelly Roll, and I was like, "What is this dude, a
This
rapper
was
or
like
something?"
last year.
And
We
so
didn't know who he
I'm
was.
bringing him up, and I'm like, "Holy crap, he's got a bunch of songs on." I know
They
those
do
songs.
do holograms. I mean, I've seen Elvis and Michael Jackson
Yeah.
as a hologram, and it's really cool because it looks like they're really up there
Yeah.
on stage. But so that's what somebody said. Quiet Riot. They were there last year.
Did
Quiet
they
Riot
have
was, yeah. They had them. Yep, they had them at Bullhead City,
Yeah.
Bullhead, and then they had them out here. Remember, that was when we were going to go.
So
to.
we had said something to him about Leonard Skinner, and he's like, "I didn't know they were coming." And I said, "Well, they said last year that they wanted to come for the 50th." He says, "Oh, well, we'll look into it." Which is, like I say, he doesn't have any bands. Nobody's signed the papers yet.
No.
And he says,
And he's got a lot of feelers out, so that
Yeah.
way if anybody backs out,
Yeah. So
Six
normally,
is on that list too.
yep,
Yeah.
Six was on
I
there.
like
And see,
Six.
Six would be good. Foreigner was on there. We seen Foreigner, and it really there's only one guy left in Foreigner, but it's the guy that sings, so it sounds really good. It's been about 10 years since we heard Foreigner, but Six would be good. Foreigner would be good.
Scorpions
Scorpions wouldn't be too bad, but I mean they're kind of slow and
Slow.
laid back. They're not so upbeat,
R&B and funk.
and so we'll
Yeah,
see.
Ralph always wants all the disco bands.
And they want to bring and we even recommended Jasmine Kane. So you ought to just book her and have her down at the, play down at Bikini Beach half the time, and then the other half play her up at the Crossroads. Because I said she's got a heck of a following when it comes to bikers. Because when we go to these rallies, she's always got a crowd where she's at. Some of her songs are okay, some of them we don't care for, but she's really nice. She's been on one of her
When
videos.
she gets to the screaming ones, you know, where it's really
Too
hard
much for
rock,
us.
yeah, it's a little.
A lot of the good. She does Pat Benatar and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff,
nice.
and she does really good. And so we put that out there. She does that down. She likes George Thorogood. We kind of threw that back out at him.
Mike says, I'll make a prediction, George Strait.
I don't know, but
He
George
wasn't on the
Strait.
list. I don't
Actually,
know.
when I just looked, I would really like to see George Strait.
Neil Diamond.
I don't know if Neil Diamond even does anything anymore, does he? And so I just seen in Tempe, Arizona, they're going to have what did they just say? It was
George Strait.
George Strait, Chris Stapleton.
And Jelly Roll. Wasn't it?
No, it was somebody else. It wasn't Jelly Roll. And I don't know if
He just had it up. I like to dance. Can't really dance anymore. Jason Bohem. I just lost my Facebook. Where did it go?
keep talking while I'm looking. You both
Alrighty.
can't be looking.
All right. So, so Eric Clapton in Chicago, he was awesome. Yeah, we've never seen him either,
George
so that was
Strait
pretty cool.
Concert in Arizona.
Took I told him everything he knew. Rod Zombie, I don't know. I heard that was quite the concert last year. It was pretty, well, when we drove by in the motorcycle and I said, look, there's a Munster truck, like the Munsters from the Munster TV show. And it was crazy. And then when once we passed it, I saw it said Rod Zombie, but they said it was really.
Yeah, so they didn't show the third verse. It just shows George Strait, Chris Stapleton. But I mean, they're playing in Glendale, Arizona. So it's like, it's in May. So maybe that would be great. I would love to see George Strait and Chris Stapleton
I don't know if
together.
he'd be welcome back. I don't know.
And but they said Chris Stapleton had been out here when it first kind of started and played, and he was kind of in our Laughlin area too. Where I don't know if he's high dollar now, but I have no idea what George Strait would cost. George Strait really retired, so it's kind of weird that he's back out again playing a few songs again. But I mean,
But if he plays with
great.
some other people, he probably won't have to play as many songs.
Yeah.
And he might play with the guys, so.
Yeah, but it'd be me. I would love to see George Strait play, and so we're gonna bring that up tomorrow when we talk to Woody. and see if anything can happen. But I mean, a lot of these you got to see what they're going to charge. Like somebody has said they would like to have Garth Brooks and Faith Hill. First of all, they have such whatever. They got such a large setup that they set up. There would be no place for us to be because their stage comes out and he runs around and does all that. And then second of all, he wants a cut of tickets and he wants to control the ticket price. Well, at the Buffalo Chip, they don't sell tickets. You buy a camping pass. So it's not the same thing. So, and you don't know, they can say how many camping passes they sold, but doesn't necessarily say that the people all went to the concert. Or the people that are staying in the campground, you don't know how many of them came into the concert. So when it comes to ticket prices, then there's also people that will not play outside. They don't want to play in August in the middle of nowhere.
Is there a third? I don't know if I've seen him. Hank Williams. I've heard of Hank Williams Jr., but they said there's a Hank Williams.
Yeah, there's a third. And so that's pretty neat. So what else is going on at the Buffalo Chip is they're going to be doing a lot of work down around the stage area. He read it all, so much stuff. I don't even know. We'll eventually tell you all the stuff that's going on because he went through all the stuff that they're going to redo and fix up. And we kind of told him some of the problems, during like Kid Rock last year, 2021. You couldn't go to the bathroom, you couldn't find any food. I said, if nothing else, you guys ought to go and get like frozen stuff that you could throw in a microwave and get like 100 microwaves and line them up and people could go into the store
like
and
those
buy
Lancashire sandwiches, they come in little packages.
Tamales or whatever, something better than standing in line for a freaking 4 hours to get a pizza from Domino's. And and I told him, hey, go get one of these. This is for the guys. Get the trough out there. Put it behind one of the buildings, and you can go back there and take a leak in the trough. And if you're worried about the guy next to you, you're probably at the wrong rally. And so
Six says the rumor Alabama's going to be at Thunder Beach in the spring.
I haven't seen that yet. They did announce that Leonard Skinner's going to be there.
John Mellencamp.
So
I haven't seen him either.
Yeah, John Mellencamp, I don't know. He's got a few songs, but what you got to look at with a lot of these artists is do they have enough?
Which name is he going under? John Cougar Mellencamp? John Mellencamp.
So at this moment, we thought they were going to be remodeling the bathrooms. That may not happen this year. They really want to get all this stuff done around. What they're looking to do at the Buffalo Chip is to set up some different setups to where when there's because they kind of did, if you were here last year or 2022, if you were here for this year, if you looked over during some of the band, they had Fozzy from the shop up here. He'd go up there where the steel guitar's at now, and they would get over there and they'd do stuff and things like that.
Burnouts.
Yeah, the burnouts is what they did. That's what I forgot exactly what he said he did. Well, they're going to put some stages up in the air like that to where you could do stuff like us. We're going to do a live from those areas a couple of times during, maybe one every night, I don't know. And during between the bands and stuff like that, they want to also to do like throwing the T-shirts and all that. The idea is when they're switching the bands out, they don't want you looking at the stage anymore. They want you to concentrate looking over, hey, this is what's going on over here.
Give you more entertainment.
Or this is going on over here. So kind of neat. Some of the other things they're thinking about doing is having more activities in the campground. So if you're buying that pass to come see XYZ tonight and it's a big band, hey, come down this afternoon and they've got all this stuff going on. They're talking like biker games. They're talking about other concerts that are going on in other parts of the inside the campground and stuff. And you got a wristband. You're welcome anywhere inside anywhere.
Yeah.
You can come in. They're going to move some of the entrances around in the back, a little different. They're going to have coming in there.
So they're going to be doing kind of a little bit of reconstruction around that area.
Yeah. So all around the stage area, it's going to be really redone. And it's going to be a lot easier to get in from the backside, where you're going to come in. If you're just coming for a concert, you're parked back there. Yeah. So that'll be a little easier. So all this stuff, a lot depends here on weather and all that kind of stuff. So we only have a tentative schedule of what they're going to do. So we're not going to concentrate until you get exactly that's for sure what they're going to do. But there's
until they start on it,
yeah.
And then we can let you know.
They got some new campsites coming in. They're putting in some more electric and water sites into this one area. It's kind of a fieldy area. And I said, that'd be pretty neat. That way you got some more campers in there, or if somebody's got a tent wants to have electric and water. Something nice. So they're putting in, I don't know if you said 20 or 40 or how many they said they were putting in right there. We went by and looked at it. And we're not announcing where it's at because once again, they may not get it done. So we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings thinking they want that spot and it's not there. But I don't think that area even has a name. But so, and they got some other great stuff. Rod met with a big company this week, actually today and yesterday. And I can't talk about that yet because I don't know if he signed the paper or not. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. But this is major. Another super gigantic event that would be going on at the Chip, which would be really great. So it'd be another reason to come out to the Buffalo Chip. Once again, get that wristband. And so you can get out and see all this stuff that's going to be going on. So this year is really what Rod's trying to do is they're building up to the 85th. So here we are at the 83rd coming up. So he's only got a couple of years to get to that 85th. Well, what he is he's at what he said this next year will be his 43rd year, right? 42nd year. It's 40th year, 41. So this was 42nd this year, right? For Rod.
He's a year behind. So this is the 82nd. So his was the 41st.
Okay.
So the next year will be the 42nd.
Yeah. So he's building up to his 45th and his 50th year of being in business. So he really wants to have, and the 45th is when he's going to have a really big thing. And then if he makes it, if we're all alive still by the 50th, he wants to have a super giant ordeal going on there. So he's working up to this. And it's just like I said, if we set up with what we're going to do, he wants us to sign a contract for till the 86th. And,
welcome to our little group. He says he's new here.
There you go. Thanks a lot. So
You're
we're talking all
Nation
about
now.
Sturgis. So we're talking about the buffalo chip, kind of what's going on there, and it's kind of neat. You know, it's
talking about some of the stuff the city's got going on too.
Okay. So we got a bunch of stuff that the city. We're going to talk about some of the numbers that they gave us, and you'd be surprised. One of the things that I didn't know is between all the different places, the buffalo chip helps donate stuff to stuff. They donate money. There's over $1 million given away to charities in South Dakota. Some goes to the Children's Hospital, some goes to all different foundations and stuff. So there's a lot of money that you guys spend here that actually goes to charities, over $1 million. So that's a lot. I was actually kind of impressed. I know there's some donations, but I didn't think it was $1 million. So, you know, we told you there was 505,000 people.
Yes,
is what the city is saying that came. We also had the state came in and talked too. Their numbers were a little lower than what the city had. But I mean, who knows? There was 300.
Texas A&M actually come out and do some stuff
for the city. So that's what they said. It's and they took out. They did surveys and stuff, and they did this stuff. I didn't really care for the way they did their surveys. They only surveyed people in town. They didn't survey anybody out at the dealership or at the Buffalo Chip or out at Full Throttle or anybody like that. They only did downtown Main Street, and they did like every 7th person. So let me pull up my thing here with some of the information. Here we go. So attendance, we'll rank the days. So let me tell you, let me look here. The lowest day, of course, was Sunday, August 14th. That's no surprise. What's the next lowest day is Saturday the 13th, which is the 37%. So from there, the next day that they said was the least amount of people, which we kind of argue with this, is Friday. The first Friday, August 5th, was only 44% of the people were here. The biggest day here that they had was Monday. So I'm okay with maybe, but they still said Wednesday still had, so Monday was 67.9%. They tried to say Wednesday, which was the 10th, was still 67.2. And I'm like, there's no way. Half the people were gone on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They must have counted you as you pulled out of the driveway, but that didn't happen.
Yep, they had that on there too, what Wyatt donated.
Yep, they had Wyatt on there. So looking at attending, they went through and asked people what their percentage was the first time that you were here. And surprisingly, I would have said this year, 2022, was the biggest year. But they only had 27% said that was the first time there. And they actually said 2020 was a bigger day of more new people. Us, when we talk to people, probably 4 out of 5 people that we talked to were new people, had never been to Sturgis, so it was their first rally. So I'm not sure about their numbers. What they actually said is how many times you came into Sturgis while you were here during the year, during the bike week. So in 2021, they said they were here 8 times. And in 2020, they said they've been there 6 times.
So they're saying they're not getting a lot of repeat business as much as they used to. I don't know.
Let me see what else we got. So they asked, did you arrive before the official rally? So 36% said yes. 64% said no. And they said the same thing. How many were here after the rally was over? 15% said yes. 84%. Kind of a stupid question, but I don't know what they're trying to figure out something. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. How did you get to Sturgis? So we'll go back to 2015. They had two numbers, 2015 and 2022. So in 2015, they said how many people rode your motorcycle, and it was 64%. In 2022, they said how many people, it was 42%. How many trailered your bike? 2015 was 26%. 2022 is 38%. How many people don't own a motorcycle? You got here some other way. You
Flew in.
No, flies another way. You drove in, whatever. But this is shocking. Back in 2015, it was 8% of the people drove in with cars. Last year, this is shocking. 16% of the people, it has doubled. More people are coming now in cars, not bringing motorcycles. So it's getting to be now flying in. Same thing happened this year. We got a big jump. So you had 1.72% in 2015, and in 22 you had 4.3%. So it doubled. So that was kind of neat. They also asked where people stayed at. This was kind of confusing, but they went from 2018 to 2022. In 2018, 17% of the people stayed in a hotel. 2022, 14%. Campgrounds, we got to add that other one in because they put RV parks down too. Yeah. They used to ask people and they said what they said. So in 2018, 51% of the people stayed in the campground. 2022, we had 47%. 2018, they said they stayed with friends, 14%, and 13% this year. Private housing, that's jumped, 10% in 2018, 14% in 2022. And the last one was other. We don't know what the hell other is. We're not going to talk about that.
Well, it might be like Camp 5, and I don't know.
So we're just going to show you some of the things where money's raised at, how much money have donated.
This
so
is just
people donating money. This isn't the city giving any money or anything like that. So they ended up during the rally, the Sturgis Museum collected $20,000. They also got a $26,000 endowment from some outside source that gave it to the city to help with future rallies. But some of the things that this money goes, here's some things like the Sturgis photo tower that you see out here. It's sponsored by different people, like it's a church or it's the high school kids, and they don't pay nothing, but all the money they collect, they get to give to a donation. Well, all together, 9 different charities made over $20,000 altogether.
To go up in the towers to take pictures.
So all that money, the city gets none of that. That all goes to the charities that are there. There's 9 different ones. Now the Chiefs ride, that money all goes to. It goes to the animal shelter. They got $1,600 they gave to that. The ride with the locals to the Black Hill Trails, that was $2,200. That money went to the Black Hills Trails. And the 5K run, that went to the outdoor recreation, and it was $4,000. So there's a lot of money that you guys spend here that actually goes to charities that are in the area here. So don't think that everybody's profiting money and they're all running away and things like that. Anything like that. So there's all kinds of things.
Mike said they forgot one category, the knucklehead that got himself really sick and spent half the rally in the hospital.
I donated all that money. But I mean, there's all kinds of things.
All that money to the
hospital. There was a lot of money that went to, like there was $10,000 went to the high school for scholarships. Another $10,000 went to Sturgis Rally charities. $3,500 went to the high school for others. Another group gave for scholarships. $6,000 went to Operation Ride Home. What that is for for Army personnel now that want to come home for the holidays. They could get leave, but there's no way they can go. That money helps pay for
get home.
Yeah, so that helps get them back there. The mayor's rides actually. This money all goes to the police department, the ambulance service, and the Gold Star Memorial raised $40,000. The mayor's ride. The mayor's pub was $1,750. That went to the Gold Star Memorial. That's the one that, if you watched the video earlier, when I kind of went up to that monument there that's in front of Harley Davidson, the amphitheater there, whatever they want to call it. What's that thing called over there? Harley Davidson Square. There's that thing there. That's the Gold Star Memorial that they built. So the mayor's poker tournament gave $1,200 to that, and the mayor's pub crawl gave $1,700 to that to help that out. They also had an anonymous match donation. Somebody said, if you raise $100,000, I will give you another 100,000. So they did. The open container sales, selling those cups, the city made almost $26,000 off of that. The city Sturgis scholarship, they put somebody gave $47,000 for that. The Sturgis Tattoo and Beard anonymous donations got $3,000 total.
I think that
there.
was for the contest they had.
Yeah,
I don't know
contest
if you had
was, yeah, that was the money you had to pay, because you had to pay to get in it. I don't know. But they also had a bike build that they sold a bike at Mecum Auction, which we go to, which you'll see in January again. But they made $25,000 on that bike. So once again, I talked about the charities. Altogether, they gave away $1,023,985 to charities. That's how much money came out of all that.
So if you think the city's just profiting off of this, a lot of the money that's made here does go to charities, which we weren't. I mean, I knew some did, but I didn't realize that much.
So some of the other things they said is they wanted to say what spending per person was. So this could count rooms and everything else, but people always say that. How much does it cost to come to Sturgis? So they said on the average, if you stayed in Sturgis, people spent, for the time they were here, they spent $798.14, rounded up to $800. If you stayed outside of the city limits, you paid $557, $558, rounded up. They say,
Per day.
yeah, per day. No, this was for the whole time.
I know. Now
this is
you're
per
going
day.
to say per day.
Per day, they went back and asked people how much they spend per day. Typically, they spend about $175 a day. Now, we don't know. See, they didn't ask enough questions to say, does that count your room? Did that count? What did all that count?
Is that just food?
So outside was
t-shirts
$122.
and-
I like the top price better than I do the daily price. Total money during the bike from the official Friday that it starts till the Saturday that it ends in South Dakota, it brings in $643 million. That's how much the Sturgis Rally, how much we all spend. And this also counts the vendors buying permits and all that stuff. All that's in it. That's how much money comes in too. Now in Sturgis alone, they make they got to pay all their bills, but they bring in $396 million within the city limits of Sturgis. Outside the rest of South Dakota, excluding Sturgis, is $247 million. That's why this is such a big event for South Dakota. And that's why when you come out here, everybody is so welcome to you. You know, that's one of the things we talk to all the people here, is a lot of these guys that we talk to don't go to other rallies. So they really don't know what's going on. And I said, you know, that's one of the biggest things here when you come to South Dakota, Wyoming, you go over here to even down into Colorado a little bit, and North Dakota,
Montana.
These people love motorcycles here. When you come in, every one of these towns open the doors for you. They block streets off. They give you parking just for motorcycles. It's just unreal. If you've never been here, you will never experience anything like that, because you go down to Myrtle Beach. Good odds are, if you keep riding through Myrtle Beach, you're going to get a ticket. Guarantee it. And they hate you. They don't want you there. You're not allowed to park in the parking garages. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. Why? Because they hate us. Same thing with Daytona. You know, they tolerate us down there on Main Street, but the rest of the time, they want you to get your ass out of there. They don't want you in Daytona. Everything's in Ormond Beach. There's not hardly anything other than Main Street. There's nothing else going on in Daytona, because they don't want you there. That's why Rossmeyer used to be in Daytona, and they told him, you don't like it, get the hell out. Well, he did, and he built a very big operation over there. Best place to be.
Steven Sample says his room and leave was $300 a day.
Well, like I say, it depends on where you're at, and like
I think that's the average.
This is people that they asked. So
and
it's
they said
whatever
what they
they
do
shot
is
from
they're
the
on Main Street, and I guess they've got several people doing it. I don't know if they have little iPads or whatever they do. They walk around and they count 7 people. And then the 7th person, they ask the question. Then they go to another 7th person.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
so they're trying not to get the same people to where
like in the same
me and
group.
hers together and we'll give out the same answers. Yeah. So they're trying to be but all this was done down on Main Street is where all this was at. So if you didn't come to Sturgis, you didn't give out those numbers. So I don't know how many people, you know, I don't know when I'm doing this. I don't know exactly what we spent the whole time we're here until I get home and start counting up. Holy crap, we spent a lot of money. And but I mean, if you know, hey, we're staying at the Buffalo Chip and we know we're paying all that for that. Well, you know that for sure. But then when you start looking at the other things, you don't know. Now, what else we talked about? This Sturgis officials talked a lot about the $22 corn dog. So that is an issue that everybody knows about it. And just like there's a lot of people that says, hey, you need to tell the city to tell people they can't charge that. First of all, we are in a capitalist country. What that means is you cannot tell somebody you can't do something. Actually, they could get in trouble for that, because they have a right to charge whatever they want. If they want to charge $100 for that freaking hot dog next year when you come here, they can do that, because this is America and you can do anything you want. And they're not going to tell anybody you can't sell. But what they said, which is actually common sense, is you're at one of these establishments and they're charging an outrageous for beer or for your food. Walk out. There's many places here, a lot of them along Main Street and in this area, that have very good food at a very reasonable price. Now, this is not, you can't come like what you are right now. You can come down here and get, which we're going to talk about dollar beers. You can get dollar beers out here. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But there is places you get drinks, but it's not uncommon to spend $5 to $8 for a beer on Main Street. Why? Because this is a tourist information when it's coming on. When was the last time you went to a ball game? Last time I went, it was $12 a beer. So when you're go to Disneyland and see how much that costs you for a beer. So you got to think about it. This isn't mom and pop town, and people are here to make money. They've got to spend money to get in here. It's just like over at the Harley dealer, to get a 10x10 spot, it costs them $5,500. So they got to make that before they ever make any money. So things are cheap.
You got to get here.
Yeah.
That's an extra expense.
She looks at it and says, she don't know how these vendors
I don't know how they do it.
Amzo at him, how he travels all that time, spends all that money for gas and getting there and setting up
and tearing down, and
it's
a lot of work.
And so we and how some of these vendors say, oh yeah, we made big money and all. I don't know how you did. I mean, they really don't know until they get home. But so that's one of the things that you got to think about. If you go someplace and they're charging too much for something, walk out. Don't pay the price, and what'll happen is either they'll go out of business or they won't come back next year. And then the next person. But there's many places, and we'll be talking about that as we get closer to the rally time. And the vendors are starting to open up. We're going to spend a little more time pre-rally showing you the prices on Main Street of what things are selling for. Because now pre-rally changes. A lot of these bars will jack the price $2 a beer as soon as the rally starts. And a lot of them won't start till Saturday. Well, if we're already at the Buffalo Chip, we may not be able to get back here and do that. But talking about the Buffalo Chip, why do you want a bracelet? Every day he has dollar beers at Woody's Saloon, Woody's Bar,
Woody's something.
I don't know where it's at.
I think they have dollar hot dogs and dollar beer. So for $2, you can get a beer and a hot dog and fill your tummy, and there you go.
Yeah, not during a concert, but before. But that's one of the reasons you want to get out there and see all the exciting stuff that's going to be going on. And we're going to be letting you know all the things that will be going on at the Buffalo Chip. As soon as we start finding out stuff, we'll start telling you some of the ideas. We won't have the exact dates of when it's going to be.
That the chip is the prime rib.
There you go. They've actually got a deal, which I don't know how long it's going to go. And we talked to Woody about it because I said, this is stupid. One of my subscribers had to tell me this. They've got a deal. You can get 13 meals for $135, and 2 of them are the prime rib deal. You can get like 5 breakfasts. I don't remember exactly all the stuff that comes with it. I have to look up the email he sent me. But it was like, he said it figured out to be $13.50 a meal. And the prime rib alone is worth $20 or $30. And he said it was great food. You get the breakfast and stuff, and it's down at inside inside where they have the concerts at.
Yeah.
Concert areas, that restaurant.
Amphitheater.
That's where they have that special at, but they're very limited because they can't, only get so many people in the restaurant. So it's a great deal. We don't eat breakfast. I was thinking about it, but we don't really eat breakfast that much. We're probably going to reserve a couple times, try to have a meal in the restaurant, because once the rally starts, you can't even get in that restaurant. It's all booked up all the time.
Because we did that one time. We went in there like reservations. It's like, no.
You know, reservations. It's a freaking campground.
Didn't know it was high class.
So that's pretty neat. So here's some of the. I don't think did you take pictures of the stuff the city said they were going to do? I didn't have that in my phone.
What they were going to do?
Yeah, what they're doing for 2083 for the 83rd rally.
See.
I don't know if you took that picture. I thought I did, but I don't see it on my phone. It's on video. Photos.
Yep.
So this, we'll talk a little bit. First of all,
the
first thing I want to tell you is what the city wants to do. Oh, did you find it?
Well, that's the one thing they're going to do.
Do you have anything before
Well,
that?
you got to go the other way. There you go.
Okay, so here's a couple things that they're working on. They want to have an official radio station that's going to play throughout Main Street. So what that's going to do is, like, if they're doing some ceremony at the Harley Square, you'll be able to hear it throughout what's going on.
Yeah.
They'll have announcements on there all day long to tell you, hey, come on down to the tower. They're going to take the picture at noon, give you a heads up. So it kind of jars your memory if you wanted to do something without finding out, hey, that already happened. Why didn't somebody say something about that? So they want to get a radio station. And actually, one of the ones that are here, the local one, said they wanted to talk to the city about it. So that's one of the things they're looking to do. Second thing they're going to do, what?
They said that the meal deal is awesome. Plus, if you don't use all your chips, you can save them for next year.
There you go. So we'll talk more tomorrow to Woody about that because we don't know much about it. So they're also going to have something new. It's going to be called the 7-day run through the Black Hills. And we're not quite sure how all that works. Maybe I'll ask Tammy. She should know that tomorrow when we talk to her. I don't know if it's each day is a different ride and you sign up for it, or if you sign up for one and you have to do all 7 rides. I don't know. So we have to find out what that is. But it's pretty neat to where, especially if you're a newbie and you've never been here, here you got, I think it's only going to be 17 people per day. So I think it might be each day is a different ride. You can pick the ride you want. I think they said there are no more than 17, and they're going to have a local person take you on this ride and, stop and talk about stuff. And it'd be kind of neat. We'll see probably the typical rides, but we don't know what rides they are. The other thing they're going to do is what they call the Fuel Adventure City of Sturgis Motorcycle Rally Poker Run. That's going to be a 2-week regional ride on routes to Sturgis. So like if you're coming from, they didn't say anything. You're coming from LA. You could, as you come through LA, you'll have poker stops to stop to pick up your cards. And then when you get here, you'll see who's the winner and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be 7 different ones that they're going to set up rides for. So that's kind of neat. So that's the idea of what they want to do is have the idea of having you have fun coming to Sturgis. They want to set that up. So that, to me, I thought that was pretty neat. It's kind of like, if you're not a Harley member to where your whole group's coming out here and you get to ride with them, here's another option. So we'll have to see what cities they
And we know
pick.
some people that come out and they just come out all by themselves, and this would be a way you could get to ride, and you could ride with a group of people and you wouldn't have to just go around all by yourself.
So they're going to have a bike builder. Actually, it's Laura Clock. She's building a bike that they're going to end up showing here, but it'll end up being sold at the Mecum auction. They're partnering with Mitchell Technical College students on the bike build. They're creating a custom bike with advertising partners and events that will eventually be sold at Mecum auctions. They're also working on a motorcycle industry council, partnering with the MIC, the college, to provide training opportunities. Well, what this is going to be is if you've never rode a motorcycle, they're going to have it set up out here. Like, let's say maybe she never rode a motorcycle. They're going to have classes set up to teach you how to ride a bike. If you never rode one versus, you can go down and do a demo ride, but if you ain't got a driver's license, you can't ride it. Well, here they're going to set it up to where you can come in and I don't know if it's just a few hours. I don't know how long the class is. They didn't give any information. They just said it's going, because they figured that 12% and more of the people that attend have never rode a motorcycle. So what the idea of this is try to build the rally up again. Let's get new people, especially these guys driving in cars. You got all these people, 14% of the people coming in cars now. Maybe they don't know how to ride a bike. Maybe they like to learn. So that's something I think is really neat. Now, the other thing, which we've kind of seen this already, there's a company called Strider. And if you watch any of our videos, especially if we do the breakfast at Daytona and also the breakfast at the Chip, Strider is a wooden bicycle for little kids that have no pedals on them. So you got to kind of push it and ride. It's like a coaster bike. They're made out of wood. And my grandson had one. My daughter had one for both of her 2 boys. And it's an idea to get them used to riding it, to have the idea of wanting to ride a motorcycle. Because you ride it and get it going and you kind of put your feet up and you glide along with it. So Strider
saves training wheels later on when they get a bicycle.
Yeah. So that's something that they're really going to have instructional classes here for people that bring their kids. More and more we're seeing these kids coming to the rally.
What they had too is they had younger people that were here, like the 18 to 32 group. They said was a big number this year, which I wasn't really. I don't know if I believe that or not.
So here's the big news. And we kind of heard a little bit about this last year. What are they going to have? Downtown motorcycle races on the last Saturday of the event. They're going to close at least 2 blocks on Main Street, and they're going to make a big circle track. They're going to have all different, it's going to be street bikes and baggers and all kinds of, they're going to have all different classifications, different class of ages. They said they're going to have, it's going to be a really big day. It's going to be an all-day event on the last Saturday. They're going to be having all these races. It'll be all closed off. They'll have, the barricades and stuff. And the only time you can cross the street is between the races. There'll be a pause between all the races. There'll be no jump or nothing. There'll be the only thing going on. Computer kind of went weird there. Make sure I didn't lose my internet here. Yep, no, it's still good. So that's going to be really exciting. Having races in Main Street. If you guys have ever experienced, like, one of the other towns we talked to was going to do like Long Beach in California does. They have the Indy races that they race around downtown. And that's why I said I wish this would be a little bigger. But they want to start small and see how this goes because they got to be able to control it. Talk to the police chief too. We're going to talk about him in a few minutes. And that's really, I think that's a really big thing. And a whole lot better than a guy jumping over Main Street. Having bike races and stuff out there, and there'll be amateur races. This could even bring foreigners over that want to come over and do some racing out here and bring a bike to race. So it's going to be, plus it's right here in all the action. They used to have the racetrack outside town, and people say, oh, go out there. Nobody shows up. It's kind of like the drag races out there. You go out there and there's maybe 100 or 200 people. That's it, because it's not in with all the action of what's going on. People don't want to go out there. So that, I think, is going to be a really big thing, is to have this racing downtown. Especially, it might keep a lot of you to stay till that Saturday to say, hey, I want to see this stuff. This would be neat. And I want to see it. Even though it's kind of getting to the end of the rally for the Buffalo Chip, I'll probably sneak over there a little bit at least to see some of that, because I want to see what they're doing, see how it works out and sets up and things like that. So I'm really excited about that. Some of the other things they're going to do is they realize now that the rally actually is starting to start about 2 weeks before the rally starts, official opening day. So they're going to start working towards that. So what they're going to do is a week before the rally starts, pre-rally week, they're going to they're going to have 1 block of Main Street that only motorcycles can park on. Cars can still go up, won't be able to park in the middle, but you'll be able to park on the side where the cars normally park. Okay, that's okay. I said 2 blocks, but there's got to start with 1. The other big thing that they're going to do, if you've ever been here before rally starts, you got all these people that are coming in at the last minute with their vendors and all that stuff, and they're blocking the streets. They got their trucks out there. They're taking up dozen parking spots. Not anymore. So at a certain date, they can't even drive on Main Street. So they got to get in there before 6 o'clock in the morning. They got to come after midnight, and they got all these rules that they can't be out there, because what's happening is bikes are coming down here maybe Wednesday or Thursday before the rally starts, and got all these stupid vans and trucks and all this blocking the street. And it looks like, what the heck's going on? Is it even open down here? Well, a lot of people aren't coming. So the city's like, screw that, we're going to stop it. This is the way it's going to work. We want people to come to the rally, and if you want to come here early, we want our businesses to be able, for us, to be able to get in there and see what's being sold, who's going on, be able to walk up and down the street, not have to deal with people trying to load up their stuff. Idea is they need to get their butts here and get set up before we ever show up in the first place. That's their problem. A lot of the people wait till days before the rally, and they think they show up with their truck and park out in the middle of the street and block it while they're trying to figure out where they're going to unload at. Well, that ain't going to happen anymore. So that's a really neat thing that's going to make it better for us as motorcycle people.
Are you telling they're going to block up the street early? The park?
Well, not block off, but just have an early parking area. I told them about not allowing the trucks to be out there in the vans, taking out the parking spots before the rally. And let's see if there's...
And Sunday.
Oh yeah, Sunday they are not going to allow cars to drive down Main Street till 6 a.m. on Monday.
Monday morning.
Yeah. So Sunday, if you guys still are hanging around, like, hey, you want to hang around for this race on Saturday and see what's going on? It's like, hey, let's go down Main Street and see if we can pick up some good deals on t-shirts. You'll be able to, because there'll only be motorcycle parking only. I think that's good. Yeah. I think that's, screw these people that want to come down there and take their stupid car spots. And it's a motorcycle rally, dude. It's not I haven't seen nothing on there that said car rally. Park the car 4 blocks away and walk in.
Locals too, but...
Well, they still can park 4 blocks away. Walk your ass in. It's a motorcycle rally. I didn't go to your car rally and expect, well, I do. I have a motorcycle car rally and park up front too, but I'm smaller. Let's see what else.
Oops.
Okay.
No, that's mine, not
Oops,
yours.
wrong way.
Here's your
Okay,
ticket.
so I think that is what I got. So we talked to the police chief today too. Here's what's going to happen. We've got open containers now on Main Street.
For the last 2 years.
That's right. And they've been really nice about warning people about bringing cans of beer out on the street and things like that. That may change this next year. You need to buy the freaking cup, and if you bought a cup from last year, the year before, you can bring that cup back. It's good for every year until you break it. Break it, you can glue it back together, I guess. But you can't put only beer and wines, all you can put in, no hard liquor. Now, they're also probably going to start, what happens is you go to a bar and you buy you a beer and you just stroll out the front door and nobody says nothing to you. Well, they may be coming after the bars too. So this is a warning. If you own a restaurant or you own a bar and you're selling alcohol, you need to have somebody at the doors, just like they do in any other city, that says you can't go out the door with alcohol. Dude, get your cup. Because now I think the bars can sell the cups too. So they can have them in there and they can sell them out there too. I'm pretty sure they can sell them now. Now they also moved it open more to where you can drink more on the street. Like actually, if you're down at One Sexy Biker Chick, she's got the house, the Sturgis house down there across from
Iron Horse and
you can now drink or walk right up to her front door with a beer in your hand because they've added that. So they made it bigger now to try to make sure all the businesses will be involved in that circle. So you'll be able to walk, you can walk from Main Street and go to the Iron Horse or go over to, what's the bar that's open all the time? Side Hacks. Go over to Side Hacks and, be able to cross the streets and stuff. It's kind of neat. So that's kind of a nice thing. The idea of why they had open container is for you to be able to have a beer while you're out seeing the vendors. Now at 10 o'clock or whatever time it is, you can't do it after that because the idea was to have it for the vendors. The vendors are closing up, so there's no reason for you stumbling around with a beer in your cup. So honor the rules. They're going to try to make some signs. They had some stupid signs last year and they were up too high. And the city wanted them like this. And the police chief said, no, the sign needs to be down. It needs to be orange. It needs to have black letters on it so people can read it. Well, the production company that's in town didn't want it in their video. Screw that. It's more important to make sure you understand, hey, I might get a ticket for this. You don't want to be a small ticket, but it's still a ticket's a ticket. And so make sure if you want to drink on the street, buy the stupid cup. It's not that much. What is it, $5 or something?
I think it's $10.
Ain't that much.
And, but you can use it year after year, so just don't forget to bring it.
So have it, and that way you got it. If you want to walk up and down the street, no mixed drinks in it, beer and wine only. And because they don't have open container here year round, only on special events do they have
special occasions
have open container here. So we just don't want anybody to get in trouble. Other than that, the chief was pretty good about it. He's people always talk about that.
Which is the first 2 years were a learning curve, and it was.
They gave over 350 warnings last year. This year he's saying don't keep track anymore. He's basically going to leave it.
The first year they kept track. The second
he's going to keep. It's going to be that it's up to them. If they want to write a ticket, make you dump it out, tell you to get off the street, it's going to be their choice. A lot of it's got to do with which is what I always say, just like when I'm talking to them.
Common sense.
Is how you act. If you're up there, screw you, dude, this is open container. Okay, well, let me give you a ticket here to go along with your attitude, dude. You got to remember, there's rules and everybody's got to follow them. And that's just the way life is. Don't like it, sit in the bar and finish your beer before you come out. You got to worry about it then. Or go stay at your campground and drink all you want. Who cares? You can run around the Buffalo Chip, you can run around Full Throttle and all that with your beer, and nobody cares. Private property. So you can do that too. You don't have to worry about the Buffalo Chip. You can run all over with your beer. Mixed drink, your bong, whatever you got. Nobody cares.
Ken says he thinks the Strider bikes are made out of metal. There might be some made out of metal. Most of them we've seen are wood.
Yeah.
One my daughter had, and the one that they do, what they do is they have a program, and a lot of this money that they raise where the bike builders make like a little miniature, looks like a motorcycle, but it's
you've been watching our channel, you've seen them.
Yeah, it looks like a miniature motorcycle, but it's one of these Strider bikes, and they've got them.
What it is bike builders get one of the bikes and they make them all up, and then they auction them off at these breakfasts that we go to. And if you go back to Daytona 2 years ago, that was the best one. They had like 10 of them there. That's the best year we've had so many of them. And you can go back and find that video, and you can check that all out, and you can see what they do. But it's pretty neat, and some of them really look neat. And
what they do is they auction those bikes off, and what they do is they give kindergarten classes when they go out for recess. They want to give kindergartners bikes to teach these kids how to ride bikes that will maybe someday want to grow up and ride a motorcycle.
So they might auction the bike off for $2,500 on it. Well, all those go back and buy bikes, and all these Striker bikes are made here in South Dakota. So it's a local company that
And
makes those bikes.
Brian Clockworks is really involved with that too.
Yeah.
It's just trying to get the younger generation to be motorcycle oriented.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat, and you know, things are. We'll find out as things get closer and closer here. We'll see what more is going to be coming on. But I mean, the city's already got a lot of things on the works. They're looking for new sponsors to add to the thing. And same thing. Well, we'll talk a little bit about the Harley dealer. We didn't talk a whole lot about him today. So we met with the Harley dealer. We've actually talked to him a couple times. Talked to him. He was at the city actually has a meeting. It's open to the public. Next year it's gonna be on my birthday, the 24th. So you could actually come here if you want to come to Sturgis. You could actually sit there and see all the numbers that we just seen. You can actually go on their website now and see what we kind of. I didn't want to give you the 4-hour show that they gave. We may give you, I may put some of the video. I filmed the girl, Tammy, that talked about what they're doing in the future. What I just got done telling you. I may do a video with her on it. I don't know yet. Because a lot of you may not be able. Problem we find with people, it's hard to find stuff. You know, you want to go to the city's website, where you can't find a stupid thing. If we make a video, you just click on it, you can see it. It's not that big a deal. So let's talk a little bit about the Harley dealer. So they're getting. Actually, we found out today that the company, well, it's called Sonic Automotive Company, and they're out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So what they do is they own 111 different new car dealerships. Holy crap. They sell, you Google these people, see they got all kinds of weird cars. They got just about anything you want to buy, they're involved selling it. They also own 25 body shops.
Oh, buddy.
But the kicker is they own either 4 or 5 NASCAR tracks. They own Talladega. They own, what else did they say? Las Vegas. Bristol. What else did they own?
Well, he couldn't remember the rest, but he said there's 7 of them.
And it's like, holy crap. So what might be neat is they may be bringing in some new sponsors, you know, like some of these big sponsors that are in NASCAR may be coming here for rally, you know, like Monster and some of these other big vendors that you don't see here in Sturgis. We may be seeing them come out to the dealership because they've got this link. And you also might find out that you may see NASCAR advertising at the dealership this year in the 2023. And then you might, if you go to one of the NASCAR tracks, those 7 NASCAR tracks that this guy owns, corporation owns, you may see Sturgis, South Dakota advertising for the rally to come to it. So you might be able to get, because it is, you know, if you're a NASCAR guy or a motorcycle guy, we're kind of like in the same attitude. You know, it's all about America. It's all about being free. It's all about having a good time, and kind of the same kind of group. And some of you may do both. You might be NASCAR fans and a motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
And we used to watch a lot of NASCAR, not so much anymore, but we used to watch it. I don't really watch any sports, but doing this too much takes all my time up. And so that's kind of exciting. But some of the other things is that the reason they're looking at to buy Black Hills Harley Davidson is this is another one of these companies that want to get into the Harley Davidson business. So they kind of bought one small dealer someplace, and they're not sure how to run the stupid thing. It's not doing very well. So they thought to themselves, you know, why don't we buy something really big that's doing really good, and we can learn from them.
Yeah.
So that's how Black Hills Harley. And actually, they said on their camera they found out that the owner, not the owner, he's the CEO, because it's a national. It's a
Fortune 500.
Fortune 500 company, and it's on the stock market. So it's trading. I forget. My words are backwards now. So he was actually here last year in a golf cart. You see him driving around
on his Instagram page.
Yeah.
He posted it.
It's Brian Smith, I think is his name.
Yeah, Brian Smith.
And his grandpa, which we didn't know where he was at, if he was grandpa's son or what he was, but his grandpa's the one that originally started like in 1959, bought his first Ford dealership. And a couple of years later, he bought a second one, then he bought his third one, and he's got all kinds. They've got just about any kind of car you could think of. Even cars you didn't think of, they own a dealership too. So I'm always worried about that because it's such a big corporation, and so we don't know. But I mean, this is a different area than, well, even Florida's like that too. It's hard to find, well, it's almost anywhere, hard to find good help anymore. So I can't really see them coming in here and doing anything too drastic. They sell a lot of bikes here. They probably sold, I don't know, 10 or 15 bikes last week here. Wait till you see the video. They got a whole freaking showroom. Most of them is used bikes, but they got some really nice bikes. They got the new CVO. If anybody's looking for a 117 CVO trike, got one in stock. Nice red one. And I didn't have any of the military bikes.
And Biker says Cal Petty talks a lot about Sturgis.
Oh, does he? That's good. And so it's kind of neat. So I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of I don't know,
Leery.
Yeah,
A little
because
leery.
you just don't know. Because I look at this: if Destination Daytona, Bruce Rossmeyer's, or Black Hills Harley, if one of those owners came in and just screwed it all up, that would hurt the rallies, hurt them bad. Because it is. You go out here, well, both of those dealerships, that's where the big vendors go to.
Yeah.
And makes a big difference. And same thing with J&P Cycles. If it ended up being that the Bruce Rossmeyer's, the new company came in and kind of messed it all up, that could hurt their business too. And maybe nobody would show up there anymore to look at the vendors. So I'm hoping, the one in Florida I feel a little bit better about because it's a family-owned business. But we also found out today that there's different levels of stock. I guess there's A stock and B stock. And I guess the family owns 80% of the A stock. So they actually have control of
So
the
it's
company.
still actually a company, a family-owned business, but they have enough, I guess, to call it the Fortune
National
500
trade,
and
yeah.
national trade. So David said he wants to go and maybe trade his bike for another Indian.
Mhm.
So now, or when you get up to Sturgis this year,
And so we went over there, and so
talk to Lauren.
So Harley doesn't have a whole lot of stuff planned now. They're kind of a little bit slower than I thought they would be. I thought by the first year they make everybody sign contracts, and they wait till May. Everybody's got to have their deposits and everything in by the 1st of May. So they send all the contracts out like in January, and they give them till May to send them all back. But they're pretty much. But one of the neat things, it's exciting, is they're gonna parking lot's getting bigger, vendor area's getting bigger. And I'm like, did they build one? No. You know those giant power poles that were right there that they had the big old islands there and you had to walk around them and all that and there was nothing back? They're leaving. All the power wires are off, and they said pretty much probably by the first year the power poles will be gone. And then there's a line that runs across there that's a normal power line. They're going to bore through underneath the asphalt, and that's their power coming in. So it's going to run underneath. So pretty much, see, before, if you ever look there, if you ever see their tent, the Harley tent, there's a Harley tent that's all white. That's where Mustang Seats is. That's where Rockford Fosgate, Bug Slide was there. Who else was there? There was somebody else there. Oh, Kenworth or another stereo place was there. I forget what it was. And well, those are all people that are working through the dealership. Well, the reason they had the tent there is because the power poles were there and nobody could put, like Rick Rack puts all those flags up to fly around. Well, you couldn't do that because it would hit the power line and they'd all light up like Christmas tree. And so now they won't have to worry about that because the power poles are going to be gone. So he may be moving that tent around, and he said, we might go with maybe a Mustang setup. It would be just Mustang by themselves, and then kind of move those guys all around versus having like a big central area like that. So they're going to do a little bit of rearranging. Pretty much everybody that's up the hill from that isn't going to move. Everybody should be pretty much in the same spot that they were in unless they don't come this year. 2023 we're talking now, even though we're still in 2022. So it'll be pretty exciting. There is a big, long waiting list of a lot of people that want to get in. So if anybody decides they don't want to do it or something like that, he'll be pulling off of that and getting going. So what we basically have done with all three of these two companies, and also the Indian Motorcycle, we went and talked to them, and I think I said something about that they really can't plan anything till after January because they get a lot of their stuff because of the demo rides. They bring them into the dealership and all the stuff that they're going to do. They don't make any decisions until after the first of the year because of budget things. So she can't really help. She can't give us any information until after the first. Really, we're not going to get this all probably rolling until getting close to the first. Not that far away. November is almost coming around the corner here in about a week.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Next
so
Tuesday.
We're already into November. So we've got a lot of stuff still going on. So what we're mainly came here to do is make an agreement with the city, with the Buffalo Chip, and with Black Hills Harley, and we also talked to the Indian dealers. We got all four now. That they will give us information to give to you, so you kind of have an idea of what's coming on at the rally. There's things that go on like the pub crawl. If you wait to get here to sign up for the pub crawl, you ain't getting none. It's already sold out. It's sold out like 2 months before the rally ever starts. So we want to get that information to you guys so you can plan that before you get here. Say, hey, I want to do that. Or, hey, maybe I want to do one of those rides that the city's putting on, the 7 rides. I want to be one of those 17 guys because I've never done this ride. So as soon as we find out what the 7 rides are going to be, we'll let you guys know. So that maybe it's one they're doing spearfish and they're going to show you the waterfall. Now, I'm not saying that I don't know what they're doing. So I'm just using
That's
an
so for
example.
instance.
And I don't know where the waterfalls are. I don't know the one. There's 3 waterfalls there. So they'll take you, and I don't know if they're doing that, but I'm just saying. And they may also have some rides that you've never been on. So 7 rides is quite a few rides. So they got some unique ones and stuff. And so that'd be kind of neat, especially for people that don't have a lot of experience with Sturgis. It took us a long time, really, until we got our YouTube channel to figure out all the freaking rides that are around here. There's probably more rides that we haven't even found yet. So, and we're here for 45 to 50 days. So,
And then tomorrow, the people we're going to meet up with is Rod and
at the Buffalo
Tammy.
Chip, we're meeting at 11 o'clock with the city. We're talking to Tammy. She is now the coordinator for the Sturgis Rally in town.
In
She's
events, all events.
Yeah, all events. So she does the Mustang Rally and all the stuff.
Corvette.
She always reminds us, I'm not just a rally, Sturgis. I'm not just a
But
car
that's,
rally.
she said
but
that's probably
motorcycle."
95% of her job is the motorcycle rally. And then 1 o'clock, we're going to meet with Rod. And then where are we going to go at 5 o'clock?
We're going to the pasta corral. She's going to cook us some pasta.
Well, we don't know what she's going to cook, but
We'll take some
she
pictures.
invited us out, so that'll be
She
good.
specializes in
You want
pasta.
to tell them this again for
Okay.
those that just came on?
Okay, so what we've set up for this year, and it's all done, it's all ready to go, so nobody has to worry about this. We haven't had to sign nothing, but they already booked everybody in. So what we've done is this year we're going to concentrate most of our time at the Buffalo Chip during the rally. Okay, we're going to give you the opportunity to spend time with us. We're
If
really
you want.
Yeah, if you want. If you don't, you can just stay there. But I mean, last year at Kathmandu, a lot of people wanted to do stuff with us. Bad thing with Kathmandu, there's really nothing else there for us to do. Kathmandu is a great place. I love the campground. It's quiet, excellent bathrooms.
Easy in, easy
I would stay
out.
there all the time. I love the place. The Buffalo Chip, what I wanted to do with the Buffalo Chip is and a lot of people may not know this, Buffalo Chip is like Disneyland for adults. There is so much freaking crap going on there. I just thought it was concerts. I had no idea. And that's what we want to do. We want to give you that information so you know that, hey, maybe this year you have no intentions even coming to rally. But you could sit there and watch us and we'll show you all the stuff you can do. You can buy this $295 bracelet and bring your freaking tent and do all this stuff for free other than the pass that you bought. And you could stay on, I say this, Sturgis could say, we're not going to do the rally anymore. We could go to the Buffalo Chip and still have more fun than you're going to have anywhere else. They got the best concert, no matter, I don't like Snoop Dogg. Well, let me tell you, dude,
They got
half the music that's on the radio today, I don't like half that crap. But I'm not going to say, well, I'm turning the radio off because I don't want to listen to that crap. Well, I try to listen to the station I want, but if I'm listening to country or rock or whatever it is, there's still stupid songs that come on that I don't like. But that's part of life. But there is somebody else, like some guy that's on, I've commented a couple times to him. I'm like, dude, you have a right to say, I hate Kid Rock. Oh, he's an asshole. I said, dude, you know how many people, there was 120,000 people last year that came there and said they loved Kid Rock. So
you're never going to please everybody.
There's a bunch of people that probably hate Kid Rock. There's a bunch of people that hate Snoop Dogg, and there's a bunch of people, there's a reason he's a multimillionaire. And because people go and see his concerts. So the idea of what the Buffalo Chip tries to do is give a little bit of everything. There's a lot of those headbands. Who's the guy, the wild guy?
I don't know.
This year. People are fighting afterwards.
Oh, Rob Zombie.
I have no interest in seeing Rob Zombie. None at all. But apparently a lot of you did. No problem. I have no problem with you watching that, but I don't want to watch him. I don't want to listen to him. So what did I do? We were nowhere near there. Didn't hear any of the music, didn't hear anything, didn't be involved with anything that happened afterwards. But you're right. Even if I was staying in the campground, I'm not going to every one of those freaking concerts. I'm only going to what I want to hear. So if they got some loser there that I don't like, that's fine. But there's probably going to be other people that's in the pavilion that love the guy that's there. Somebody could bring ABBA out there. Somebody put that on our list. I want to hear ABBA. First of all, ABBA don't play anymore. They got tribute bands, but
I
ABBA
think they were
themselves,
just being
I
silly.
think they died. I think they are too. But even if the Buffalo Chip said, let's hire them, there's going to be somebody out there dancing the ABBA. Whatever.
Dancing Queen. I am sure Ralph would like that. He likes the disco stuff. He wants to dance.
So yeah, so but I mean it's all in there, everybody to their own. And then so the Buffalo Chip tries to do that, give you some country, give you some, old rock and roll, some 70s stuff that a lot of that's what we like. We like the more 70s rock than we do anything else. But I mean there's been some new bands that we like, but most of the new bands today, they're more like one-hit wonders. They got two or three songs that are popular and then they don't play anything anymore. And unless you know them, it's kind of like it's like if you're a Jackal fan, if you've got to be a Jackal fan. A normal person that hears Jackal music would be like, "What's that guy screaming up there for?" There's some songs I like of his, but there's a lot of them I don't like. Kid Rock's the same way. There's a lot of songs he sings I like. I don't like his old rap songs that he did originally. I wasn't a big Kid Rock fan originally. I'm not a super big Kid Rock fan, but we've seen him, geez, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now. And,
we liked his like 90s music. That was pretty cool. When we used to DJ, we used to play that a lot. And then when he started kind of getting into country, we liked all those songs. So when we went to see him,
first time.
No, probably the second time. First time was out there at Buffalo Chip.
Oh yeah.
So the second time we saw him, he played a lot of his country and a lot of his 90s hits.
It was one of the best concerts I had ever been to. And I've been to a lot of concerts. And but like I say, I wouldn't mind hearing Aerosmith again, but see, Aerosmith's like that too. They got so many freaking songs that they don't, the ones that I want to hear, Pink and stuff like that, they don't play them anymore. And same thing if you're a Kiss fan. We were a Kiss fan in the 70s, and when we went and seen them in the 2000s, she's like, I don't know any of those songs. Well, they play I don't know what the one that Michael always likes, I can't think of what the Kiss song that Michael likes all the time. But you didn't know that, but I knew
like
that.
Circus,
yeah,
or Circus,
and Circus Cycle Circus. And she never heard it. Well, I had heard that song, and but we never listened to Kiss in that era. So when you start looking at people, and it's like, so you got to kind of pick. It's like Styx.
We went and saw Styx.
Styx is another one that's got like 500 freaking songs they've made. So,
but the one we went to see, they played like Grand Illusion album, and that was it.
And that's what we grew up to. And when we were in high school,
I had an 8-track tape, and I wore that thing out.
And so there's a lot of, and same thing with Foreigner. Foreigner's got some really good songs. And some of the bands we've seen, who was it that we seen? Oh, it was Aerosmith. Was it there? When we seen Foreigner and...
No, it was Foreigner, Cheap Trick, and Journey.
Yeah, we
saw Cheap Trick first, and they were good. And then we saw Foreigner.
Was really good.
They were really good.
We were there for Journey. But they had that new kid. We grew up with Steve Perry. And we walked out.
We did.
That kid's song did not sound anywhere. He couldn't get the high notes, and it was just sad. We got better tribute bands in California that I like better than I do the new kid who's for Journey. That's us.
I doubt that.
But we've seen a lot of artists. We used to see ZZ Top a couple times. She hates ZZ Top. We love the music, but to watch ZZ Top in person,
they're very boring.
They walk on the stage, sing, next song, sing. Next song, sing. Next song, walk away. They don't talk to you. They don't say, "Hey, welcome to Sturgis." They just say nothing. Sing your song.
They don't say hello.
And they got great music. They sound really good, but they may not sound the same now when it's gone. But it's.
I mean, I can listen to them on the radio or play a
CD
or whatever.
iPod.
Yeah, because if they're not going to interact with me,
She wants people to talk and say, "Hey, that's
George
why she likes
George
Thorogood." And she liked that. We've seen John Fogerty. It's another good concert to see. And but yeah, so there's all different venues of music. A lot of these ones like Shinedown and stuff, we never heard of them. I listen to that music. It's okay, but I mean, I never heard any of those songs. Some of the bands that were there, which are some of the ones I see people are asking for this year, I've never heard any of those bands. They were more like 90s, 2000s, a little bit harder rock. I don't know where they play the music at. I've never heard any of that.
I know somebody say you never heard of Shinedown.
Never.
I mean, we used to DJ.
We listened to all that music, and I've never heard any of those songs. I don't know where they play them at. I don't know what radio station.
Styx played at Chips 2 years ago. That'd be cool. I mean, I don't know. I like Styx a lot.
And but it's nothing wrong with bringing a band back every couple of years, because Rob was saying that to us when we said something about Aerosmith and stuff. Well, they were out here like 10 years ago. And stuff. We started asking people. The average person here has only been coming out, most of them 4 or 5 years. Now, there's people that's been coming out for 30 or 40 years, but they don't really go to any of the concerts. But there's people also, most of the people have been less than 10 years that they've been coming out to Sturgis. So anything that was before that, never heard them. They've had some really great bands over the 40 years that they've been, the Buffalo Chip's been going on. He's had some really great bands
We're all
out
getting
there.
old, Mike.
And so that's what's kind of neat. So tomorrow, like I say, we're going to be talking to the city. We're not going to do another live this week. Our next live will probably be next Wednesday again. We might start trying to do a Sunday afternoon because we have a lot of people, a lot of our subscribers are not coming on Wednesday nights. So we don't know, maybe they're
there
not,
you go.
maybe they don't watch football at all. So maybe we'll do one, maybe we'll do two and not do as long a one on each one and do a Sunday still.
So we said.
What?
That we won't do as long a one. David said we need to organize a ride to Wyatt's Lemonade.
We could do that.
Yeah.
We can do it right now. We got Wyatt's phone number. He just gave us a phone number.
Yep.
And we were going to go out to dinner with him, but it started snowing and they didn't want to get out.
Yeah.
Because Wyatt also he's going to be one of those male cheerleaders and that looks up at the girls, when they got him on their shoulder and he's looking up and you know what he gets to see? That's what she said one time. She goes, I can't see a guy, why he would do that. And she talked to some guy and she goes, do you ever see what my view is when I look up?
Well, I guess this guy I used to work with, he's a really built guy. I would have said he was a football player in high school. And he says, no, I was on the cheer team. And he says, a lot of kids made fun of me, but he says, I'm standing under all those girls holding them up.
And looking up.
Who's having the last laugh now, he said.
So, yeah, you don't know. And so he does it a couple days a week. He does that. So it ties him up at night after school and stuff. So he's pretty busy. We didn't get a chance to catch up with him again. We could have done Friday night dinner, but we're looking to got friends in Denver that we're going to stay a couple days with. Actually, it's Tony that's been on our.
Tony and Judy. She does the One Sexy Biker Chick.
Yep. And also Tony's the one that's been on and talked about Glencoe. He's a Glencoe expert. So he's having a Halloween party on Saturday, and
we will. I will have to take a nap at the Chip if I'm going to stay up to listen to the band.
Midnight. Because we got to do all the girly show, the bikini contest. It's a girly show, and they're going to try to move a lot of that more up, not to drag. Because I said it's stupid. The only people you got is a bunch of drunk people at midnight looking at the show, and they're getting millions of views. You need to bring that crap to where people come in more for it. I wanted it all in one day, but they won't do that yet. Still working on them.
I think we're all in our 60s. He's just turned 62 on Monday. I'm 62. I was in August. And it's old. We may be crazy for life. That's right.
And so that's what the idea is. If you're interested in staying with us at the Buffalo Chip, and maybe you're just watching this, you're not a big spokesperson. We don't really know who you are. You're more than welcome to pick that area. We do have an area. We're going to show you tomorrow.
We're leaving Friday.
We got an area to show you where you can bring tents. It's not real shady. Actually, when I went around and filmed all the shady spots. He's getting to me. All the shady spots in Sturgis. Really, you only want to be on the side where the east side. You want your tent on this side. This is the east here because that's when the sun comes up. Because you want the shade in the morning because you don't want that. I've had girls tell me that some of our bartending girls that they have to get up at 5 a.m. I'm like, what do you get up so early for? They said, because at 5:01 our tent's like 110 degrees because it's like a heat lamp in there. So you want your tent. Who cares what it does at night? Because any moron that's in his tent at 6 or 8 or 9 o'clock at night shouldn't probably came to the Chip, and you're probably out partying. So you want.
Well, that's Mike. Hi, Mike. How hot was it in your?
Yeah, I won't say what he had, but he had a tent out in the sun.
Yeah.
And so we found some really great places, and actually where we're at, we've actually got a couple of trees there that are on that side. They're facing the Camp Zero, which is on the east, and so they'll have some shade in the morning. So we got some places there, and we also got some along the pond, the oceanfront property.
Lake. It's called Deep Lake.
It's oceanfront property in South Dakota.
So Devin's on now too.
There you go. And
we could have dinner tonight. We're down here at Sturgis.
We just got done talking about Wyatt.
Yep,
everybody wants to do a Wyatt ride.
Oh, right out.
I said maybe we have to pick a special day before everything breaks out and have him out there, and we have a special day just for us and the people we bring out.
Yep.
And so yeah, they even put Wyatt. I don't know. Devin didn't probably know, but the city just had their report on Tuesday, and they actually put his picture on actually from last year. Well, actually it was. I don't know what year it was because it was from a picture when he was in the driveway with a sign up, and they put that on and showed the money that
he raised.
The money he raised to give to the
St. Jude's.
Yeah. So they were showing the money that's generated for the rally. It was over $1 million. It's given away to
during the rally. Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. So kind of neat about that. So if you're interested in coming and staying with us at the Buffalo Chip, put that information up again. There you go. You can call the Buffalo Chip. You talk to Carol. We're going to be in the Deep Lake section. You can rent a trailer. You can
Bring a trailer.
bring your RV. You can bring your truck camper and sleep in it or whatever. So you've got a tent. You don't necessarily have to call. You just got to get a wristband. But what you need to do is you need to email us. And we'll talk about that soon anyway, that we need everybody to email us because there is some people that are bringing tents. Well, you don't have to tell them that. Well, we need to know if you want to be with us, we got to figure out where we can stick all the tents if we have a bunch of them come. I don't know how many. Right now, I only know 1 or 2. So I don't know if we got any more than that. A couple of them are going to be, and some of you, if you're already in, you're going to stay like Mike. He decided he wanted a cabin. So he's just around the corner from us. He's not too far away, not very far walk.
You don't get a numbered site. You get that section. And then when you get there, so what we're going to do is once we figure out how many of you guys are going to come,
on the 19th.
We'll rope that area off. And then that way you can find a place in that area.
So the first one that gets there.
They never give you campsites when you book at the chip. They give you an area.
Yeah, they put you in.
It's kind of first come, first serve.
Yeah. Now you can always say, hey, I want to be here or I want to be there. It's like us when we pulled in the first time, which we got there way early too. But they're like, here's a couple of spots. I said, well, I want to be halfway level. I don't want, I don't have leveling in my trailer. So they're like, well, this is kind of the spot I'd recommend. I said, well, how about this one over here? And they said, okay, that's fine. We backed up and they wrote you down. Because that's why they give you that paper. It has no number on it. It just says blue sky, or it says top back 40, or it says deep lake. And then when you get there, they write the number on it, and then they take it back up to the office, and then they know where you're at. If there's an emergency or something like that, they can find you.
Are we that boring, Mark?
What?
He says, sorry, I dozed off.
What?
Wake up.
Even Neil's on. He was at the Moose meeting or something, I think, tonight. Someplace.
An electric tent set up at the chip.
Yes, if you stay at Marcus, this is all electric.
Marcus said how many he had. He said he told us what his, here it is. He had 213 participants stay in the campground from 163 last year. So he was up from last year. No, if he's still on or
so
not.
So he's got Easy Camp Rider. Easy Camp Ride. Is that what it is?
Camp Easy Ride.
Camp Easy Ride. It's getting messed up. So what he's got is you can rent the whole thing. He's got a tent already set up for you. He's got a frame. He's got a bed. He's got electric in there. No air conditioner.
Chairs.
A chair.
A fan. He's got a fan.
Yeah, he got a little fan. So the electric's there mainly because they run generators. It's mainly there for you to charge your phone, run a little fan. You get pillows, you get blankets. They even got a cooler for you. They got their private
chairs,
Johns there that they have. Johnny on the spots that are really clean. They have hot tubs. They don't have them. Other campgrounds, they have a most of drinks, but here at the Buffalo Ship, they can't do drinks because they're selling drinks at the chip. So that's a whole nother story. He'd have to buy all the crap from them and then do it, and he don't want to do it. So, but it's a neat thing if Mike did that last year, but it's tough when it's 105 degrees to be in a tent. And unless you go to bed really late and get up really early. So this is where you want to contact if you were interested in staying where we are staying at this year at the chip. So you book it now. We only have this spots guaranteed till October 31st at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because that's when the office closes. So we don't know if they'll extend it, but they typically the Buffalo Chip sells out. So there's no reason for them to even hold the spots at all.
Yes.
So they've gone out and said, I was hoping until January 1st, but I'm okay with this. And because if you're going to go, you're going to go. It's not that big a deal.
And it's not saying like, let's say you won't know until January 1st, because that's how he used to do. He couldn't put in his vacation till January 1st. So he didn't know for sure if he was going to get off or not. So we're not saying you can't stay with us after this. One, the price is going to go up. And two, if they still have openings in that area, you can still say, I want that area.
Yeah.
So is it likely after January 1st, once you find out if you can go or not, there's probably still going to be some available. But to get the cheaper price and to guarantee you get to stay with us, they're only holding those spots for us until October 31st, which is Monday. So it's something you got to think about if you want to do it. And if you already we have a couple people that said, hey, I always go to the same spot all the time. I want that spot. Well, go to that. You're more than welcome. We're not closed into a gate where you can't get to us. It's a little tricky to get to us, but you can get to us. You got to come around the back way or come through the amphitheater and weave around and come around. You can get to us. It's not that hard. And if you're somebody that is getting a pass, you can actually come through the back gate and you can weave through and get right to us too if you're just coming in for one day
and see what's going on. We're going to try to have all kinds of different events. We're going to try to have a barbecue one day. Everybody can go out and get something, and we'll put it on a grill and get the chip to go some stuff. And we're probably going to have a beer cake party one day. A lot of stuff will be done in the afternoon, depending on the concerts and stuff. But we'll have to figure that out as we get closer to the rally. We'll start kind of figuring out what days we could do what stuff. But we're going to try to have a lot of fun stuff for people to do. Of course, we're going to do the Legends ride, and we will be doing the Rusty Wallace ride. So those 2 days are pretty much, we're gone all day anyway. I don't know. We may end up having to split up. She may end up having to stay, and I ride the rally. I don't know. We have to see what's going on. Because last year they had the bells stuff going on the day that we were doing it was Topless Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah,
We're not doing Topless Tuesday. We're not going out to Ham Jam out in Hewlett. None of that's going on during the rally. That's why we did that last year. Now we do have Michael's probably our photographer that did the videos. He's probably going to go back out there again. He had a great time. You haven't seen all the pictures yet. If you're on Patreon, that's going to be in a video, so it's going to be a video, not a picture thing. Because I don't know, for $3, I don't know if people might be offended by the pictures he's got. Pretty wild. So I started on some of them. I haven't had a chance. The next ones probably won't come out till after November.
Well, it's hard because we're traveling. He's working on the shop. He's got very little time to do. I mean, he doesn't sleep now. He's up doing videos.
So I'm trying to get it all done because you guys are Patreon people are paying to see some stuff. So we're trying to get some stuff up there, and we're trying to figure out how to do our lives on there because we want to do.
I was thinking that too. Some of us, those of you that want to, if you want to rent, if you're bringing your own tent and you need electric, if you just need to charge your phone and stuff, I'm sure some of us there, because we have like an outside plug. You could bring electric cord and plug it in and charge your phone at our trailer.
And that's what I said. There might be enough spots to where somebody doesn't need as much room, and you might be able to put a tent in front of where they're at, or So we'll have to just see, because the idea of what I really want to do is get us to where, because some of the times what they've done is some of like this one group was in the same section last year, and this year. And they had like 5 or 6 trailers, and they actually made a circle out of the trailers.
Like a wagon train.
Yeah, so everybody was in the center. Nobody could see what they were doing. So they had all the doors facing that way. That would be really nice. Those were all they were all rental trailers, so they were all exactly the same. So I don't know if we can do that. But then you also got to see where the electric plug is so everybody can plug in.
Oh, there you go. Look what Marcus just wrote.
I can't see.
Says, I would be happy to offer a discount for the Bob and Tam fans to stay with Camp Easy Ride should they not be able to get into your private area.
There you go. And that's Camp Easy Ride. You can find him on Facebook. Put your phone number up.
Yeah.
So I don't have to look it up. And or your email. And however they want to contact you. You can use your phone number. But it's really neat. He's got a really great setup.
He's got a great idea. I mean, he's a smart guy. Bob and Tam's camper with 15 extension cords hooked to it. Like I said, we've got, it's the Bating family, right? So I'm sure anybody, there's plenty of outlets there.
And
for
people
you
need
guys
to charge or something like that, or we can throw it inside and charge it and come back in an hour or two and see if it's charged up or whatever. So it's not that big of a deal. So we can work with what we need to work with. And like I said, this will be our first year of trying this. Well, I've been camping all my life, so it's not yesterday. It's not rocket science, it's a camp. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. Chance you can be with us a lot more. Now, we still have to videotape stuff. But what we do is we don't spend a lot of time videotaping. Like, we go up and watch a stunt show. I only need about 15, no more than 30 minutes of video, and that's good for a whole year. This year we're going to videotape more stuff because we need the footage for next year to keep up with the weekly. I don't have enough footage at all to keep constantly putting videos out every week for the rest of the year without showing duplicates of stuff. So
Guns and Rides, that area, Deep Lake, does not have full hookups, but you can get pump out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to probably, because we're going to be there July 19th. So I think 3 pump outs will be good enough for us.
Well,
using the bathroom and taking showers.
We have a 45-gallon black and a 45-gallon gray. So we're a lot bigger than the average person. So it depends on how big your storage tank is. One year we brought the Blue Boy, and I decided that it's just a pain in the ass to move that around. I'd rather pay the money. But if you buy it up front, it's a lot cheaper if you buy now.
Yeah, because I think for one, it's 75, because a friend of ours just booked to stay with us. 1 pump out is 75. If you get 2, it's 2 for 100. So then they cuts it down to $50. And I don't know if you get 3, but I figure since we're going to be there so long, we'll just go ahead and get 3, and then they can pump us out.
We're only around the corner from the shower house. Yeah, it's a really big shower house. So it's not like the back 41. This is bigger than that. And we've used this before the rally starts. That's the only bathroom that's open that you can use. So we've used that bathroom and the showers and stuff down there. And it's not as crowded as the top 40 one is, because everybody in the top 40 is all going up there. And I don't know how many people really know this one, because it's behind all the vendors and stuff down there at the bottom. So it's not a main road. People say, so I said, we're not going to have any dust or anything. There's no reason for people, other
Not a
than
lot of dust.
on the side of us, you'll see tomorrow, when you come through the gate, that's for vendors and for employees only. They won't let people just drive through there. Well, you don't get to go through because they'll know who you are. And
Well, I was thinking too, we've got those wristbands from our one ride. We could give anybody a wristband or have them put them on their bike to let them know that they're with us and that they can come in.
Oh, yeah, too. Is we know the guy.
I know, but I mean,
just
just in
say,
case he's not there.
I'm with Bob and Tam. My
So
camper's right there.
Deep Lake does have 50 amp and water. It just doesn't have any sewer.
Yeah.
So that's what Mike was trying to say. He says some of them have hookups. All of Deep Lake does.
Yeah.
Where the tent spots, what we were talking about, doesn't have.
Full hookups at the Buffalo Chip is almost impossible to get.
There's Camp Easy Ride number.
There you go. If you want to talk to Camp Easy Ride, you can contact me. You can put that on our note thing, and you'll have it for next time we can talk about it.
I'll get Marcus's number.
Yeah, we probably have it anyway.
I probably do.
And but the idea is he's actually going to give you a discount. So if you want to get into his tents there at the Buffalo Chip, and you just want to ride your bike in, you want to rent all that, he's cheaper than a trailer. He's cheaper than a cabin. But what's nice is everything's there. See, we've rented cabins before. You got to bring your linens and your pillows and all this stupid other crap. Well, he's got all that there. You just ride up on your bike. You bring your personal things, your shampoo and your soap, bar of soap and a wash rag and a towel. That's about all you need. He's got hot tubs he brings out. Hopefully it won't be 105. But he's got hot tubs, got a couple of them. They have a bunch of activities going on.
They have a hot coffee party every morning if you're a coffee drinker.
And sometimes they do breakfast too. And so it's kind of neat. It's actually.
And he's not actually, he won't be too awful far from us. And like I said, if you come to the Buffalo Chip all the time and you've got an area you stay in, that's fine. You can still come up and spend time with us.
You can ride your bike over to where we're at. If you got a golf cart or you got a quad or whatever the heck you got, you can come over to where we're at. Or you can come around the back, because we're actually where we're at.
3 pumps out to 125. Okay. There you go.
So that's not bad. And
that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah. So that's we're gonna get that tomorrow. We set it all up, and so it's gonna be a really great time. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the Buffalo Chip, because what we're gonna end up doing is we'll get everybody's email or everybody's phone number, whatever you want to do, and we'll do, which will be a mass text or a mass email. Everybody will have everybody else's phone number. We're not going to send it to everybody, but we'll send a thing out like the night before and say, here's where we're at. This morning at 8 o'clock, we'll be up at the stunt show up at Big Easy Bar. At 2 hours after that, we'll be down at the Bikini Beach filming the rope contest. The slip and slide in the rope is pretty wild down there. They say come after 2 a.m. in the morning, which definitely one night I'm going to be there after 2 a.m. to see what the heck.
Well, there's another place we want to go to. It's up the top of the hill.
Titty's Bar.
Campground.
Titty's Campground. We've been talking to that guy a couple of years, and that's when you first come in the Chip, when you come into the campground.
Right under the
They got all
tower.
the dance. They say it gets after the concerts when they start up. It's DJ music. We never heard it from where we're. And that's the other thing. People always say how loud the Chip is. We had no trouble last year sleeping, and we were just on the other side of Bikini Beach, halfway up Blue Sky. Tomorrow, if you watch tomorrow's video, we'll show you where we were at last year. And we could not hear what the song was Kid Rock was singing. We were listening, got the air, everything's off. We're listening. Can you hear what that is? He's like, I don't hear.
Well, there was a country.
That's not that good.
A country band, country singer too. I don't remember who it was that year, and I really wanted to hear them too. And we had so much stuff to do that night, and I kept trying to open the door, listen, like, are they playing it yet? Are they playing the song I wanted to hear? I never could tell.
And so it wasn't that bad. Now you always get the moron driving by at 3 o'clock in the morning on a motorcycle, but you're gonna get that anywhere, even if you're in a motel. We've been in some motels now, and it's like newspaper. They got newspaper between the wall and newspaper
the Lexor in Vegas.
But you never know till you get in these rooms. None of them are built to keep noise out. So you're even in a motel, unless you're out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, all these campgrounds are going to be noisy. And one of the other things that I think happens with noise is you get some clowns behind you that want to stay up till 4 in the morning, hooping and hollering and laughing and carrying on. Well, if we've got one area here and we're kind of all closed off, the only person that might hear something is the people on the other side. Now, if we want to stay up and have fun, we may even close some of the streets down and just have like a. Well, he already said he'll get us a big bonfire. They got a big bonfire area. That's why he said he wanted to. We'll do the beer party there. And in Bikini Beach, there's a big burn pit, and he said he would get us wood, and we can have a bonfire. And so he said, yeah. So what we want to do is why we want to do this is because we did 40 years of Woody 2 years ago, and when he first, that's how he started thinking about this. When he was underage, he worked at a bar. Well, they couldn't pay him. I don't know why they couldn't give him cash, but they gave him a keg of beer every now and then. So he'd go out to a field, have a bonfire, and charge his friends and high school kids and everything $1 to drink beer all night. And that's how he got his money back. So he kept doing that even as he got into college. He was still having parties out in fields. And that's what started the Buffalo Chip. And so it's kind of neat. It's a kind of a neat story.
That's what we thought it would be neat to have a keg party with Rod.
Yeah, and invite him out with us and have some fun because he is getting older. I think that's one of the reasons he hired a COO is because he wants to be able to start stepping back. He's getting older. He's in his 70s, and he wants to enjoy what he's built. And it is.
I think he used to, when it was smaller, it was more controllable, and he could walk around and talk to everybody, and I think he really liked that, and I think he misses that. And they said last year he was out a lot more than he had been years before because.
Which is, you guys seen if you watch it,
Robert was there.
He came down and at the breakfast and talked to us, and a lot of people said that was the best interview they've ever seen we had because he was laughing and making jokes, and we were just shooting the crap and talking about the rally and stuff like that, and he's gotten more relaxed with us, which I really like because the Chief was like that today too. He was a little bit better, and because these guys aren't used to being on camera. See, which I found out with Rod. I found out with Rod is when they make him do the announcements and stuff, his crew makes him memorize what to read.
Well, they give him a script, and so he thinks he has to read it word for word. And why so he's a little more stuffy.
We just tell him, hey, this is what we want to talk about.
Say hi.
Go with it. We can edit it out. That's why we have a camera. That's what we do, edit.
So Danny says he booked last week, and Carol was super nice. Yep. She's very nice.
Carol's really good, and she's been doing this for a long time too. She's been there she used to work out at the back at the ticket.
Selling tickets.
Yeah, is where she.
And Rod she caught his eye.
And they got married.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of neat. And we don't talk to Carol as much as we do like Rod, and Chris is his assistant, Chief. And that's who's the person we probably talk the most to. And then they've also got a scam. We also have a marketing person, Cody. And we spent a lot of time yesterday just yakking to him.
Yeah.
And because he knows more of the YouTubers. All the YouTubers that come in and stuff, he knows all of them. The Monkey Man and Adams, Sandoval, and the Badgers, and all the other people that are involved with the Buffalo Chip. He knows who they are. Rod doesn't. Rod only knows us.
Ride and Rest is really nice. Shade Valley is very nice too, but it's a little further out. It's about 7 miles past the Buffalo Chip. So if you're going to stay there at night and not driving back at night, it's a great place to stay. But if you're planning on going to concerts or coming back at dark, it's a scary ride because it's pitch black.
Well, the only nice thing about Shade Valley is if you want to do a lot of stuff at the Buffalo Chip, you're on the other side.
Yeah.
So when you come out,
you're going to avoid all that traffic.
But we don't like to drive on the dark roads anytime, no matter where we're in New Hampshire, wherever we were at. Too many animals. And just like Bruce Rossmeyer, he got killed because he dodged a deer and hit a truck. So I'm worried about that. I don't want to hit an animal and die or get really lamed up because of some stupid animal.
So Neil, we did go through Socorro Station today and videotape it, so it'll be on a video coming up.
We didn't talk to nobody.
No, we didn't talk to Jimmy. We just went through and videotaped it.
Kind of showed what was there and Kevin. We didn't go inside nothing. And pretty much most.
So I'll just stay with you, Neil.
And some of you guys could do that if you want to get together and let us know. You've got some single guys that don't have any, don't want to stay in a tent, or don't want to rent a cabin. Maybe a couple of guys can get together. Like George was like that. He had like 4 guys that were supposed to come in 2020 that ended up, none of them showed up. Got the trailer by himself. 2020. But it would have been, so there is people that probably would split, something like that. And what's nice is when you buy the trailer and the camping pass, it's good the whole time. So you can come whenever. You can't come before Friday, I guess. Is it Friday? Thursday. What's the pre-rally start?
Pre-rally is Monday, and rally starts on Friday.
And so You can actually come in before that too,
Here.
but there's a fee. If you want shade, if you got a tent and you want one of those shady spots, you need to pay for as far in advance as you can to get in there. Because it's first come, first serve, and you can rope off an area, you can do whatever. And there's a lot of people that get there. Some of them were already there the first week already that weekend. They were already pulling in the Saturday before the rally ever started.
So Terry, are you going to go to Milwaukee? Because he says he's going to be here June 10th through the 18th. And we're not going to get here till July 19th because we're going to go to Milwaukee and then come to Sturgis. So we won't see you here in the Black Hills, but maybe if you go to Wisconsin, Milwaukee, we'll see you there.
That'd be very hectic there.
Are you going to go to the auction, the Mecum auction? Because we're going to that again too.
Yeah.
So those are nice places, but bad locations. I don't know what.
Sucking the meal.
Oh, I think he's talking to Rest and Ride. Rest and Ride's really nice. They've got a lot of shade there. If you're thinking about taking.
Rest and Ride.
You know how old Clint is?
I have no idea.
30. It's like he's just a young. Well.
And but it's some of the like Red and Rest isn't too bad because it's right there when you come out of Red and Rest.
The 79, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there on 7. Oh, we forgot to talk about that. 79.
Oh,
So all of you people, this is going to be major. Now,
Well,
it probably isn't going to happen this year.
It
but
probably
in
won't happen for a couple years, but
Yes.
this is
Here's
what's
what's
in the
going
works.
here. It's already been approved. Right now, the 90 is just a freaking mess. If you know anything about kickstands, they're closed right now because you cannot get into their freaking campground. They are redoing that exit where kickstand is, and that's the road that you come in the back way into the Buffalo Chip. That's exit 33, 34, 37.
37 is kickstands.
Okay, so exit 37. Right now, it's that whole lane is, if you guys noticed last year, if you were riding around, you seen them doing all the grading on the side over there. What they're doing is they're moving the bridge. I don't know why
They're trying to straighten it out. I guess it had a little jig to it.
It looks all right to me.
And
they're moving it like 10 feet over. So I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. So they're rebuilding, and they're making these new entrance and exit ramps that are like a freaking mile long, so you got plenty of time to get in. Why are they doing this? You know, if you know where if you are a Clint, you're a semi driver. If you notice, you are not allowed to drive through Sturgis with your semi unless you're delivering in town. The 79 is off limits to semis. So that's a highway. It's a little tough to say, hey, I can't drive my freaking semi down a highway. So they're going to move the 79. So the 79 actually comes down Junction and then makes a right, and then it goes in front of the Full Throttle Saloon. Goes out that way. Okay. They're going to get rid of it. It's not going to be in Main Street no more. Or they're not going to be down Junction. They're going to take the 79 when it comes out of the Buffalo Chip, or it comes out of the Full Throttle. Okay, you're coming back, and you see on your right is Glencoe, and you see on the other side is Lamphere Campground. Well, what you're going to do is, right after you see the campground, you're going to make a handy left into that dirt field, that field there, and you're going to drive across that field, and you're going to come to that light there at the Buffalo Chip. Why? Because they're going to asphalt and concrete Meade Road all the way down, and that is going to be the new 79. So ain't that some shocking news?
So from what we've heard,
well, it's already happening because they're doing the bridge, and you can see the entrance ramp now. It's like 3 times or 4 times as long as it was. That gives time for people to speed up to get to 65 there, or 75, depending on when you're not here during rally. It's 75. Get 75 to get out on the highway there. So they're making more lanes. So they're having to reconstruct all this, and they had to move dirt from kickstands to there, from there, back and forth, back and forth.
What they did is they couldn't take the topsoil. So what they had to do is scrape off all the topsoil, get a nice little pile, then use all that dirt underneath. And then when they get all done, then they got to take all that topsoil from kickstands and put it all back to where it belongs.
It's up on the hill behind kickstands.
Yeah.
And so they kind of closed up right now.
For 2 hours.
Okay.
So we're going to the Mecum auction
in January
and Vegas.
We only go to the motorcycle one.
Yeah.
Not interested in the car ones. Not looking to buy a car. And we're a motorcycle channel. I would like to go see the cars, but I don't have time. And so that's pretty neat. So that's some really great breaking news. If you hung around all the way to the end. See, we told you guys last year we were going to talk to the county about getting that Meade Road taken care of. And see, who's the people that get you the answers you want? It's the Bob and Tam show.
Yeah.
We make things happen. So we got them. That thing's going to be concrete. all the way down. They'll cut that corner off there. That might be why that house has been empty there. Remember that house that's right
Oh,
when you make
yeah.
it? It's all looks like, I'm like, why's that house? I'd like to buy that house. There, county already probably, state probably already bought it. And the road's going to go, because you're not going to have that quick right there. It's going to have to be a nice gradual turn to get in. So
John Fogerty at the Chip. He's doing CCR songs again.
yeah, we've seen John Fogerty. Well, he actually with CCR, he sang almost all the songs anyway. We've seen him a couple
I'm
times.
leaning toward Western Ride. Like I said, Shade Valley is a nice place to stay. They've got a really
Well, they're gonna start getting more expensive too, because they want to start being a big concert
Yeah.
venue. They actually want Toby Keith, if he survives, which I don't think he's probably going to survive. He's got cancer and not doing really well. He just did one the other day, a video, and he's probably down to like, I don't know, under 100 pounds. He looked awful. And so he's probably not going to be around by next rally. But they said if he survived, he would be there playing.
I know. We've been on 2 hours, so
I
now we
don't
got to
think
get going too.
I don't think he's probably going to be around, and that's sad. Toby Keith's a great guy
We did get to see him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
and great.
And you get us a new president.
I'll work on that. I don't know if I got polls all the way to Washington D.C. You got to get your butts out and vote.
Don't forget to vote. Yes, that's very important.
John, and write your vote. Don't say your vote don't count.
Yes, your vote counts. Every
See what it
vote
is.
counts.
We're gonna get our back. We decided we're gonna go ahead and vote in Arizona still. We're not voting here. We're gonna go ahead and vote in Arizona. We're a swing state in Arizona still. We got to get Carrie Lake elected.
If you guys haven't ever seen her, look her up. Carrie Lake. She's
Her
good.
opponent won't.
Katie Hobbs.
At the last second, I won't debate you. I won't debate you. Well, I always,
She's so off the wall.
well, we're not talking politics.
I know, but
So,
anyway.
but it's pretty neat. So we got some
We'll
really
try.
great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight. That we gave you a lot of information.
We had almost 100 people on the whole
That's
time.
great. And hopefully some of you ones that are on our new 83rd Facebook page, hopefully you kind of checked in and seen what we're doing. That's our page that we're running over there. Mike kind of keeps track of it for us. I get on there off and on. Got a lot of weirdo people trying to sign in now. We got a lot of foreigners, that Chinese people and stuff. And it's like, they got like one group they watch. Well, dude, yeah, they're not going to get approved. And then when I have questions you have to answer now. If you were on there before, it says, have you ever been to a Sturgis rally? Or have you ever been to a rally? And they put yes. And no, I said, what rallies have you been to? And the other question is, why do you want to be on our channel? And they just put yes. And then they agree that they'll follow the rules. Well, first of all, stupid, you didn't answer any of the questions, right? Yes wasn't the answer. And so some of those I let go because
Well, some of them don't understand English.
we also click on your profiles. And if I see you're a Bitcoin person and you're selling Bitcoins, you're not going to get approved because we've already got stupid Bitcoin. We're not selling Bitcoins on our. We're not selling freaking T-shirts. Now we get to where
We're here to give you motorcycle information.
If Rod starts selling T-shirts down there at the Buffalo Chip for the new rally coming up, yes, we'll put a link up there for that. We'll put a link for the city if they want to sell their stuff on there. I'm okay with that. But these people selling that are printing T-shirts up in their basement, no, we're not doing any of that crap. It's more of a Sturgis webpage. We do let the photographer guy there, but he does come to. He's from Colorado, and I let him on, but I don't know.
Say goodnight, John Boy.
John Boy.
Nothing. You've been on 2 hours.
There you go. Any last questions? Any concerns? Anything else? Put our email up too. So if you have any questions, you can always email us at our. Here it comes. There it is. It's all one thing. Contact us at Bob. Don't just put bobandtams.com because that won't get you anywhere. You got to do the contact us first and Bob and Tam. So that's the whole email that you have to write down to contact us. Or you can go to our website and bobandtams.com and you can hit that and message us and it does the same thing. It comes in and I just have to go back because my phone won't let me email them back. I have to go into Outlook and do it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's our website, which we got to do some more stuff too.
Yeah.
But
It's up and
Rider X
going.
is already gone.
Yeah. So we're gonna. My daughter also does stuff like that. So we're probably gonna get the password and get the last few things installed, and then that'll be done. And then you guys can see more stuff on our website. And we're working on a new store. I need to put the new logos on and get some new stuff. We're actually talking to Buffalo Chip. We're thinking about getting a shirt made out that's the Buffalo Chip and Bob and Tams on the same shirt. So that'd be kind of neat if you guys are interested in something like that.
Maybe we can put the year too.
Yeah, maybe. And we'll have to see what Rod says. They do all their stuff through Hot Leathers. It's who makes all their T-shirts and stuff like that. So kind of neat. So we're finding a lot more new stuff, and we'll have a lot of great information for you guys coming up here, and all the way up to Sturgis time. So it'll be kind of neat. And we're still doing Daytona this year. We've got our spring rallies will be coming up. We're doing Daytona. We're going to do Leesburg. Mark
Marcus.
offered us, and we'll probably end up taking that offer, to stay in a tent for 2 nights at
Windy Acres.
in Windy Acres, which is a wild campground too. That's where the Monkey Man stays. And it gets too hot, we'll stay in the Monkey Man's trailer with him. And his wife usually takes off. She say, I don't know if she stays
She's
there.
not too far away.
And,
She's so cute. Oh my gosh.
And so
I can't wear the stuff she wears. Where's those cute little things? I don't know.
and
I
so
can't pull that off.
so we're probably going to do there. Panama City, we don't know yet. We're looking for somebody that wants to put us up or something like that. If you're in Panama City area,
You know anybody?
let us know.
Anybody?
We're not bringing the dog because we're probably going to be. We're figuring a lot of the campgrounds in Florida are going to be maybe not even open still by next year. We have no idea.
Especially
So
when
we
summer
may end
goes.
up leaving our trailer in Daytona the whole rally time, just leaving it down there, and then taking the bike and riding to Leesburg, taking the bike and riding to Panama City, and take the bike and do whatever else we do. We'll be riding the bike most of the time. And so we got all that set up. We got Myrtle Beach down still, and after that we don't know. There's some of the little rallies in between I'd like to do. We talked to the city today. I'd like them to call Rogers, but I don't think he will. But to help them get their city straightened out to have a rally right. And
Maybe we can call Rogers and talk to him.
And I don't think
Because Dan said he talked to him.
No.
So just to give them some help, some pointers. They don't have to take the advice, but they could maybe get some pointers.
And it's tough that they took over the rally. So the dealership still does their thing, which Chase, who's been on our channel, he's in charge of the dealership there. And then the city is kind of like Sturgis. They had their own concerts and all this stuff. But it was just
Downtown.
a lot of people, if you watch Adam Sandoval, he kind of badmouthed it really bad. I wouldn't have been that hard on the city because it's the first year. They're trying out stuff, dude. Let's call down there and help them.
Figure out.
It's like us. I really want to contact them. But a lot of times they look at us and they're like, who the hell are you people? You know, what are you telling us how to do this for?
Nobody.
But we sit back and like we tell the city here, we sit back and we look at this stuff. I look at things a whole lot different now than when we used to go to the rallies, because we went to the rallies to have fun and do stuff. You didn't see it. Now we go and we're observing everything. And it's like, holy crap, can you believe what the hell they're doing over there? What moron decided to do this crap? You know, and it's we see all that now, where before we didn't see that. We weren't paying attention. And now we do, and we see a lot
More
of,
observant.
which a lot of you said we should have our own rally. I'm not having my own rally. That ain't never gonna happen. This will be the closest thing we have is to come to Buffalo Chip and be with us and do some of the events. You don't have to do all the stuff with us. You can just see us at night.
You can do your own thing, go on your own rides.
And then I've got to edit, so I'm going to be gone so sometimes I'm going to be in the trailer for a couple hours trying to get things edited.
So we're not going to be able to be with you guys 100% of the time, but we're going to.
But you can follow us around. If we're going to go up and film the stunt show, or we're going to go up there and watch the Wheel of Death, or we're going to go check out the bands, or we're going to go have something to eat, you know, and we'll have some things set up, different places that we can all meet, maybe before a concert and have a dinner, or have a section where, hey, maybe we'll have them go bring out Domino's pizza and we'll sit someplace. But we'll have Rod bring a bunch of picnic tables over for us before everybody gets there. So we'll have picnic tables and stuff to sit around on. And I think it's going to be a pretty good time, and we'll see how it all goes. So if you're interested, here is the information for the Buffalo Chip if you want to be in the area that we are in. If you're going to bring a tent, you don't have to do this. You just got to get the wristband. If you got a trailer, you got an RV, you want to rent an RV, you got a truck camper, whatever you got. You want a tent, and I want to have 50 amp. I'm bringing an air conditioner on the back of my bike. Hey, call that number, and you get set up. Hook the air conditioner up to your tent.
Or if you already got plans, you're going to stay somewhere else, or you rent a house every year, whatever you do, and you just want to come to the Chip, buy your bands now. If you know you're going to go, because they're cheaper now, and that way, if they have some awesome bands, it's way cheaper to buy the band now.
And I'd buy it for the first weekend if you're going to come and you want to come in with us. You know, Friday and Saturday and Sunday would be the 3 main days if you're going to buy it. I mean, if you're going to spend $65 3 days in a row, you might as well almost buy the whole pass. But the 3 days are probably going to be the most popular, because 2 of the days, the Rusty Wallace ride and also the Legends ride, we're pretty much gone all day anyway. So you don't need a wristband to go on those rides. You just got to pay to get in the rides. All that money goes to charity. So it's not like the Buffalo Chip's making any money on that. It's all charity money, and you couldn't believe how much money the Buffalo Chip gives to charities. A lot of freaking money. Let's find out the total what last year was. We'll let you guys know. So that, we're going to leave you because I'm getting tired. We got to go all the way to Rapid City. We're staying over there. It's cheap.
Yeah. See about the hotel we're staying at. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We enjoy hanging out with you guys. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
And wait till when we get home, we will tell you where we stayed. Why did you find out about the hotel when you Google this place? I had no idea.
It's cheap.
Something came up. What was it? Was there's the Clarendon right next door says it's only $45 a night too. They wanted $70 to stay at the Sturgis Hotel next town. Probably could have called the girl up, and we probably could have got a deal. But I didn't want
to use that.
Yeah, I didn't want to use an avenue. And we got a friend. We could have probably stayed at his house. I didn't want to inconvenience anybody. And so we decided, hey, Rapid City is fine. And the car we got's getting like 40 miles to the gallon. So it's getting really good gas mileage.
And Nissan Altima.
Yeah, coming on the highway, we got 44 miles to the gallon. Here, I think going to Rapid City, it's all uphill. And the gas mileage dropped down. I'm down to like 40 now. So, whatever. It's not that big a deal. And,
that's better than the motorcycle, isn't it?
But there's somebody else that, were you driving a Prius?
George did, I think.
No.
I said, no, just a car. But
Let's see, we're
it's
coming
not
here.
bad.
Most of the road was like, we rode back roads from Denver. And so most of the time we're only doing 65 or 70 most of the way. It was only a few
through
places.
cornfields or
Yeah.
through
We've seen
pastures.
some antelope and we've seen some wild horses. I think that's about all we've seen. For a long time, we've seen nothing. Not even a person. Not even another car. It was like, holy crap. It's like, that's
Saw
you
a
don't want
few
to be driving out
couple
there
of
and,
views on the
oh
road.
yeah, you've seen guys rolling across the road.
Oh yeah, the tumbleweeds. Man,
Well, the wind was blowing hard.
I thought there was only tumbleweeds like in Arizona and California. No, they're all in Nebraska.
Rolling.
All over the place. And it's like, watch out. But I mean, you hit them.
Well, I ran over one.
We
The rest
stopped at this one rest stop to go to the bathroom, and this guy was pulling out, and a big old tumbleweed just stuck to his Bye. Are we done? Let me click the button. See ya.